Okay, here we are again. Move the mic a little bit. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too loud. I don't even know if it made any noise, but just in case, apologies if it did. Hey Marie, how you doing? Welcome back. Didn't realize this version had an animated intro. Yeah, so that was the PlayStation version's intro. For the Origins release of Final Fantasy 1 and 2, which is the one that was on PlayStation 1, they both had animated intros, and the PSP version just reuses the intros from that version, basically. Yep, so that was when we played Final Fantasy 1 originally, it also had an animated intro. I feel like we only watched it once, though, and I wasn't sure. I might skip the intro and just go straight to the title screen, like going forward, but I wasn't sure today, so I was like, yeah, I'll just let it play out. I'm already here and I gotta stretch out anyway, so I might as well. Excuse me. Let me open my notes before I forget. There we go. And I could go open the maps as well, because our good buddy, our old friend from Final Fantasy Legend 2 and 3 Starfighters, I think it's 676 over on GameFAQs, also has high-quality maps for this game as well. The NES version, but for this game as well. And there are also high-quality maps of the Arcane Labyrinth, which I'm excited for, because that means I don't have to, like, wander around in the dark like I was in the Chronodia section of Final Fantasy 1. I will say that the maps that Starfighters made don't show the illusory walls, though, so I'm going to have to try to, like, suss those out, because I don't think there's really, like, a database online that shows where every single one is in the game. But I know there's quite a few, so we're going to have to try to find them if possible. Let's see. Just took a friend through the last of the Stormblood 24 mans, gave them the lore of the Esper Rebellion and why you hate Ultima so much. Oh boy. I'll bet that was a whole ton of fun. I mean, it was a whole ton of fun when we went through it on the stream. I got to use Healer LB3 for the first time in my life. That was great. It's like, okay, I'll just stand in this tick of frostbite that does 6,000 damage every 3 seconds. Sure, why not? And I'll heal the rest of the party. Otherwise, we wipe, so might as well. But yes, I'm sure that was a whole lot of fun. I gotta imagine Ultima in the raids. I'm trying to think if I had any frame of reference for Ultima from Tactics. I feel like I'd feel a little bit more like, well, you know, she was even worse in Tactics, or even better. I don't know, but I didn't play Tactics. The only Tactics game that I ever thought about playing was Tactics Advance 2, the one that's on the DS, because that was the only one that I ever could have had access to. I could have bought it, but I never bought it, so I didn't really. And then I tried to play War of the Lions, like, later on, but I never really got through the tutorial, because the tutorial was basically, like, 2 hours of reading PowerPoint slides on a PSP screen, so I was like, okay, I'm falling asleep here, I can't do this, so, you know. Look, you've seen a worse tick. The Death Puddles of the Floor 130 boss in Palace of the Dead tick for almost 10k. Yeah, that's a little bit of a worse tick then, yeah, for sure. Don't stand in that. Oh man, it's a good thing the puddles in this game don't tick for 10k. We'd be dead, because the highest HP is 9,999, and quite frankly, if we get within 1/9 of that, it'll be too much HP. Like, I feel like if we took our current HP values for everyone except Minwu and multiplied them by 10, that would be enough HP for us to survive the rest of the entire game. Will we get to that point? We'll probably get a little higher than that, just because we're doing all the bonus content, and the Arcane Labyrinth will probably provide us with a few extra little goodies. But before we even think about that dungeon, because that's an endgame dungeon, well, we got to think about this. The fact that the game is moving at 32 thousandths of an FPS. What the hell is going on? Hold on. Reset. There we go. Let me try that one again, shall we? Yeah, it was stuttering, yeah. Doesn't ever done that, so let's try this one again. No, it's doing it again. Huh. Hold on. Let me pause it. Let me see here. Sorry, technical difficulties. Stand by. If I turn the resolution down. No. That's not it. Frame skipping? Yes, I see that, PPSSPP. I do in fact understand that. I guess try auto? No. Okay, hold on. Let me try turning it off and then back on again. It's weird that it started doing that after the gameplay started, though. Like, the intro was fine. Title screen was fine. There it goes. Okay, so I just had to turn it off and then back on again. As usual, that is the go-to for any computer problem. Turn it off and then back on again. I just wish that I could turn the Emperor off and then not turn him back on again, because that would probably make this a lot easier. Either way, now that we've fixed the technical difficulties, how you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Final Fantasy II, the Stream Edition. I was kind of thinking that it might come back when I went in here, but again, that's the first time PPSSPP has ever done that for me, so I don't know. I don't know what was going on. Either way, we're back. We've started our adventure last time. I explained a whole ton of different mechanics, and we didn't manage to get into Summit Falls as a result of it, but we're getting into Summit Falls today, so let's get started on our first dungeon, shall we? Go to 4K and then do an evasion build? Oh boy. Restart your Windows PSP? Why does power cycling work so well? I don't know, but computers seem to enjoy it, so... Or at least they seem to respond to it actually happening. Sorry, scratching my eye. The tree pollen today is absolutely astronomical, off the charts, and it is... Well, it's not killing me in here, but it was killing me outside earlier. Now, I could open a map up. I was mentioning earlier that our good friend from Final Fantasy Legend 2 and Legend 3, Starfighter 676 over on GameFAQs, made some maps for this game. And I could open up those maps, but I'm going to try to do these from memory as best as humanly possible, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure it'll work out. These balloons are weak to fire and thunder magic, by the way, so if you don't feel like just whacking them upside the head, then you could do that. But, yeah, I just feel like whacking them upside the head, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to conserve everybody's, like, magical stuff for a little while, just so that way everybody has a chance to, like, keep their spell slinging for the important stuff, which is the boss of the area, really, because we're gonna need all the MP we can get to get through that guy. Although, if I get lucky on a Minwu teleport, we wouldn't really need much luck at all. Oh, holy hell. Okay. Let's see. Do I have Maria just dismantle these guys little by little? I could probably have her do that. And get some weapon experience. You know, I probably should have checked where everybody's weapon experience was before I did this, but that's okay. Tree pollen sucks. Hence why you refuse to go outside right now. Yeah, and that's fair. Like, completely fair. I can't deal with it. It's just so much. Okay, thank you for hitting the correct person. She's the one that actually needs the HP. So, oh my god, 32 damage. Bow 1 is a little strong. Gotta be a little careful here. Only been a day since you got your wisdom teeth out, and it's torture. You crave meat. You can't, though. Well, I guess I can say congrats for finally getting them out, because that's always a big hurdle, but hopefully it's not too torturous to you. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things. I totally get it. It takes time to get over that once you have that happen. I think only Minwu's going to get weapon experience here because he's bonking. I really don't need him to get much, but yeah, that's okay. Might have Minwoo use a, okay, I think he's gonna get weapon experience now, so let's just attack, everybody just go nuts. But yeah, I really don't need him to do much because most of his time is gonna be spent either with this party or in the back row, so like, it's not really gonna be too big of a deal. Alright, where is everybody exactly? Okay, so you're at 5, so if I have any enemies, if there's 5 or more enemies, I can have you just dismantle all of them, and that'll get you some weapon experience. And you're almost to level 3. I think where I'd like to be by the end of the dungeon is I'd like to have everybody be, like, I'd like Maria to be at least at level 6 on her axe and shield experience. And everybody else, if they can get to 5, that means they're basically done. They don't need to do, like, any more anything for the rest of the game in terms of weapons. Well, actually 6 would probably be a better place to be, honestly, but we'll see. Help, just want non-soft foods. Yeah, believe me when I tell you, I completely understand, because I had to go through the non-hard foods thing for the better part of 3 weeks myself, because when I got my wisdom teeth out, they didn't do a particularly good job, and the stuff didn't clot. It was just a mess. So hopefully the person that did your teeth did a better job than they did my teeth, because yeah, that was absolutely torturous, and I would never do it again. So, alright, so let's just let Maria get some weapon experience here. Minwoo can get to level 3 eventually. Just keep hitting her. That's the important part here. She needs the HP, so... I gotta watch her HP, though. I might eventually have to revive her with life with Minwoo if she takes too many hits, so... But 1 seems to have a pretty wild, like, damage threshold. It kind of just varies a lot. Like, it goes from doing almost nothing to doing half my HP at this point, which is, I don't know, kind of atrocious, I guess. But it is what it is, you know. We'll just deal with it. Again, I think it hits to your magic defense, if I remember correctly, because it's considered a spell by the game, so... But I could be wrong about that. Alright, and Maria, you've got, what, 9 stamina now? Perfect. Working your way up. You've almost got as much HP as Firion now from taking those hits. And I didn't even have to stick you in the front row for that to happen, so that's pretty great. We'll just use Cure again outside of battle. I usually don't do that, and probably beyond the point where Minwoo's in our party, I won't do that very much, because it's probably in our better interests to either use potions in that case, or to just use Cure in battle, because I'm delaying a potential spirit increase. But Minwoo's got so much spirit to start with that I don't think he'll really get any just from the process of us using Cure in battle, especially not a level 7 or level 8 Cure spell. Like, that's just way too much. So... what can I do against this guy? I could get Minwoo some weapon experience here, so let's do that. And actually, while I'm thinking about that, let's have Maria practice Protect, and then let Minwoo get a little weapon experience. Oh, nice, she hit it. Perfect. That'll work. Didn't even notice when you passed out from the anesthesia, you just woke up. Hopefully surgery later in life is like that. Yeah, general anesthetic is pretty good about that sort of stuff. It's like... Usually, like, they told me when I got my appendix taken out, they told me to count down from 10 to 0. And I got to 6, and then all of a sudden 2 hours had passed, and I had no idea what had happened other than the fact that I was stitched up. So, like, yeah, general anesthetic can usually be pretty good about that stuff. So... Alright, so Minwoo's weapon level increased. Firion and Guy got an HP increase. I could use a Cure here, but honestly, I feel like I might use potions instead, because I'd like to use Blink and Shell. Well, as long as I have 4 MP for the boss fight, I guess it doesn't really matter too much, but we're going to get some HP increases over time, over the course of the dungeon, and that might make the difference here, so... Of course, if Maria just goes first, then I won't have to cure my HP, but, you know. Oh, look, and there's another HP increase for her. Perfect. So that was her, getting her HP up. Like, before, she kind of, like, switched off on the timing, because her, Firion and Guy usually get their HP automatically increased at the same time. But if you get an HP increase from an actual battle, in the battle when you would have gotten an automatic one, the one that you get from stats, like from taking damage, takes priority over the one that you would have gotten from the automatic effect. So, I don't know if that makes any sense, but basically, hers got delayed by a little bit because she got some HP from getting hit, if that makes any sense. Maria with the axe is just funny to you. Yeah, it's actually, honestly, like, I just thought it would be pretty funny, and so far, it's worked out pretty good. Like, I don't know how this is going to go against the boss of this dungeon, because I'm going to want to switch Furion and Guy to the back row, and probably Minwu as well, so that way they minimize the amount of damage they're going to take, and that might mean Maria is going to be in a bit of trouble, but we'll see how that goes. Oh, he dropped garlic for me. Great, thanks, man, if I'm making a stew or something. No, this garlic damages the undead. It's just like... It's kind of like casting a cure spell on them, I guess, but it's more of like a targeting all cure spell, so it's not particularly effective. But, I mean, in the early game, I guess it's pretty effective. So, I guess we can, you know, go with that. Why don't you and Guy go after this sprinter? I'll let Minwu chip in as well, why not? Maria can take the other one by herself, so... Ow! I just like the whomp sound effect that they make when they do that. It's like, oh good, we're into cartoon sound effects now. That's 2 strength increases in a row, Maria. Holy hell. She's working her way up, that's good. I mean, you know, she's not getting agility, but these are rank 1 enemies, so if I'm asking for agility, I'm probably asking for a lot. There's a high potion. And now, if I remember correctly, yeah, so we've reached our first impasse. There are 4 doors here. Final Fantasy II likes to do this, where they give you a bunch of different doors to choose from. So now, first of all, before we go any further, what happens if we choose the wrong door? Well, if you choose the wrong door, you'll know, because you'll get kicked into the middle of a square room like this. And the encounter rate in here is through the roof, so... You'll basically run into 2 to 3 battles on your way back to the door as a result of going into the wrong door. So you kind of have to play pick a door and hope that you get it right. And it's fine. Like, I mean, I don't mind. I know in this dungeon, at the very least, the trick to it is when in doubt, go left. So I know where I'm going in this one. I just wanted to show you and demonstrate. In case I ever end up in the middle of a square room in the future, that's why, is because we've entered a monster room, basically. So... Alright, a bunch of sprinters, Sasquatches that can't touch me because they are entirely melee units with no bows or magic, so they'll be stuck in the back row. If the sprinters all go first, then that means their turns are all done, so that's good. I could have Maria take all these guys out to get some weapon experience, but I don't know. It's fine. I already set the commands, so might as well just do it this way. Minwu already got his staff and shield up, right? So that was turn 1. Well, I guess nobody's going to get weapon experience this time, but that's fine. Yeah, those Sasquatches must only have 20 HP, because I didn't think they would go down that quickly. So I guess it's only 2 battles. I think in the GBA version you can get into 3, because I think there's 1 more tile in those square rooms, but I don't know. But yeah, if you go through the correct door, you'll find the next section of the thing. In this case, you'll find a stairway. In other cases, you'll find, I don't know, whatever you need to find in order to get this going. So, why don't you guys attack while Maria practices Protect, actually. We'll see where we end up at the end of the turn. Protect has a 50% accuracy, base accuracy rate, so it's not too bad. It can usually work out pretty well for you. So. Okay, Spirit and Agility in the same battle, I'll take that. I just mentioned she wasn't getting Agility, so... but yeah, so basically, when she hits a Protect, her Spirit stat is added to her Defense stat. So she has, if she hits her Protect, she gets a total of 16 Defense, which is pretty good. That's definitely going to make a difference in terms of the amount of survivability she has. And that's why I like giving it to just melee units, because they don't really need high Spirit. If they hit multiple Protects on the same cast, like if she cast a level 7 Protect spell, that's 77 extra defense she's getting. That is nothing to sneeze at, so... Of course, neither are these goblins, but you know how that goes. Actually, Furion, why don't you just attack? We'll just have everybody attack. Guy, you can even use Thunder because I'm feeling like we could do that. Why not? And then we'll just keep going. There's one more chest on this floor. I remember Semet Falls pretty much like the back of my hand, honestly, because it's the first dungeon, so it's pretty well fresh in my head. Started thinking about places like the Colosseum later, and then I'm not really as well familiar with it because I don't get to practice it very often. So, oh no, an ambush! Still taking a little damage from these guys, but that's okay. I mean, the copper that we've got on, that's mostly mitigating the damage that we're taking, and I don't want to heal Furion because he might get an HP increase out of this. How about this? How about we have Maria kind of dismantle all of those guys, but Guy, why don't you take out the soldier in the back? Because he's a little more dangerous, and I don't want him to get a melee attack off. He also has access to bow 1, so that might make things a little trickier. Ow! Of course, you didn't take him out, but that's fine. We can handle that. Eventually, we'll handle it. Let's see. I can have Guy cast again. It's fine. I'm just like trying to do a little mental math here, make sure that I'm not using up too much of his MP. I think we're going to want him to cast about 5 times in the owl in the boss fight, and that should be good enough. And I mean, if we're just using 2 MP each time, it shouldn't be a huge deal. See, why didn't you do that the first time, Guy? It's fine, whatever. And we'll see where we end up after this fight is over in terms of HP. Like I said, I'll probably just have Minwu heal it with his level 8 cure spell. So. I keep looking at Maria whenever I see bow 1 go across the top of the screen, because I'm like, oh, she might be getting some HP here. I mean, she might anyway, but, you know. A Guy got an HP increase, and so did Minwu. They took less damage than... Oh, okay, maybe not Guy, but... I was gonna say, they took less damage than Maria did, but not in Guy's case. No, he took a bit of... he took a bit of a beating in that fight. Do we use the potions that we've got? I might use the potions we've got. We got a whole bunch of them, so I might as well just use a few of them. See where we end up. They're basically just free healing, so I don't really care about liberally applying them to the whole party, especially since I kind of want Minwu to have a little bit of HP in case Guy doesn't have enough MP to clean up. Or not HP, I want him to have a little bit of MP in case Guy doesn't have enough MP to clean up, because then Minwu can cast either Teleport or Fire and kind of clean up the Sergeant at the end of this whole ordeal. And again, in this case, when in doubt, go left. You have 3 doors, go through the left door. So, found the enslaved villagers. And also Paul, how did you get here? Yeah, did you get caught finally? Okay. That would explain why Joseph can't do anything about rescuing the slaves, because if he did, then Borghen would have done something to his poor daughter. Well, fair enough. I mean... That would have saved us a little trouble, yes, but you got caught. Okay, well, that's a first. Alright, sounds like a plan. You can escort everybody back to town, not a problem, and we'll keep going and we'll go find the Mithril. We'll make sure we put in a good word for you. So yeah, you can now go back to town and all of the male villagers are back in Salamand, and Joseph will have a little bit of new dialogue, although he'll have the same dialogue if you go back following you getting the Mithril. So it's kind of not really worth your trouble to go all the way back and then come all the way through the dungeon again. You can do it, but I don't know. You're already halfway there. You might as well just go through the rest of the dungeon, get the Mithril, and then head out of there, you know. So this is why I was concerned about Guy having some spells, because we're fighting green slimes. These guys have massive physical defense. Absolutely atrocious physical defense. You'll only get through them with a crit, because as far as I'm aware, crits ignore defense. But otherwise, yeah, zeros. With everything. That being said, if you cast something they're weak to, like fire or thunder, you'll hit right through that defense, and they have very little HP, so it won't really make a huge difference. I'm gonna see if I can get Maria some... Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, I'm gonna see if I can get Maria some weapon experience, because this guy will take 0 damage, but then she critted him, and, well, the rest is history, really. Here's that fire tome that I said we'd get for free that we can teach Guy now, so let's do that. There we go. Now he's got all 3 of the basic elemental spells. Oh, and I guess I should mention, I actually made some final adjustments to my notes for this game, and I am actually going to get him the Scourge spell eventually, because we get 2 copies of it anyway, and they're for free, so, like, I might as well get it for him. There's very few enemies that it'll actually come in advantage against, but it still will come in handy in those cases, so I'm still going to get it for him. Note you're still upset by the Pixel Remaster doesn't have Soul of Rebirth. Yeah, I don't know why they excluded that, but, like... I mean, I'm not really shocked by it. Like, here's something that I was going to talk about anyway over the course of the stream, and I didn't get a chance to talk about it yet, is that So, like, you can hear percussion happening in the background of a lot of the tracks that we're listening to here, right? So, percussion is something that was not originally present in Final Fantasy II's soundtrack, because back in 1988, percussion was unheard of on the NES sound chip. I'm pretty sure nobody knew, like, the best way to do it. I'm pretty sure Nobuo Uematsu was the pioneer for percussion on the NES sound chip, because the NES sound chip only has 3 channels, right? So it's high sounds, medium sounds, and low sounds. So if you put percussion in any of those sound channels, you'd be missing out on like 1/3 of the music scale, and that wouldn't really do you a whole lot of good. So it took Nobuo until Final Fantasy III to figure out, oh yeah, there's also 2 other channels. There's a noise channel and a sampling channel, and he used the sampling channel for drums and the noise channel for cymbals. It was a pretty ingenious move, if you ask me, but that was like right around 1990, which I've already mentioned in our Final Fantasy Legends streams. That was where I really feel like Nobuo was hitting his stride as a composer, and he was really getting into his own in terms of taking advantage of the limited hardware to figure it out. The Pixel remaster of Final Fantasy II, in case you're wondering where I'm going with this, also doesn't feature very much percussion in its soundtrack. And that might seem bizarre. I feel like a lot of the cases with that, they were trying to like, oh, okay, well, the original version didn't have percussion, so we shouldn't use percussion in ours. And it's like, guys, the reason why the original didn't have percussion is because it was on the NES. Nobody knew how to do that back then. You can't just not have drums in 50% of your songs. I'm just making an estimate. I don't think that's actually true, but you can't just not have drums in multiple songs just because, oh yeah, well, the original version didn't have it. We have to be faithful to that. Like, what the... Okay. So, I have a lot of gripes about the Pixel remaster of this game. It just... To me, it doesn't feel like a good remaster. It feels like a bad remaster that was done mostly for cash-grabbing purposes. It does put the game on platforms that are more accessible to people at the very least, so I can be happy about that, but the rest of the package... I'd rather they play it any other way, if I'm honest. Like, build variety goes out the window in the Pixel remaster, because they brought back the intelligence and spirit penalty from the NES version, so you can't just equip whatever weapons and armor you want. Oh my god. You can't just equip any weapons or armor that you want to equip. It's like, okay, what was the purpose of that? So, there's just a whole lot about it that I'm like, no thanks. I probably can get a bunch of weapon experience out of these guys. I'm gonna cast Blink and Shell a couple, like once each, just so that I can get them out of the way, and then we'll see what happens from there. Let's see, yeah, so you cast Shell, I guess on yourself, it doesn't matter. And then, Guy, why don't you actually get rid of the one that Maria is hitting, and then Min will just whack him upside the head. The green slimes obviously don't have any bows or magic, so they... If we limit their numbers like this, we'll only have to deal with one of them actually hitting us while we wail on them. So, and Guy's got 20 MP to work with, so that should be pretty good for us. Alright, everybody go ham. Just attack. We'll get some weapon experience out of this yet. I think if I remember correctly, Maria should get some, if we get some weapon experience out of this, which she's already done 3 hits, she should get her level 6 out of this if I'm doing my mental math correctly. No crits yet, huh? That's okay. I can do this all day. Well, until Guy runs out of HP, but you know. I got 2 damage off of that one. Got that knife moving through the green slimes, huh, Furion? Alright, fair enough. Go off, man. Oh, I didn't cast Protect. Let me cast Protect while I'm thinking about it. There we go. What if everybody got a crit there and then Maria just didn't get to attack again? To be honest, listen to any remastered soundtrack from Yuzo Koshiro. He did wonders for the EO Untold tracks. I have to take a look because I haven't heard of that guy. So, take a look at one of these points. Alright, and continue going ham. I might, once I know everybody's gotten enough, like, hit enough times to get weapon experience, which I think is, like, this turn, I think I might just have Minwu blanket cast fire on everything. So... Although I suppose him and Guy can kind of just clean up if one of them casts fire on one and one casts fire on the other, so... Or Maria can get a crit, that works too. And Guy needs the experience on his fire spell anyway, so I'm kind of glad he's the one that got to cast that. So those guys are weak to fire, but thunder also works pretty well on them, so... Yep, axe and shield level, protect level went up, HP, Minwu got a strength boost, that's not terrible. Not really something he needs, but I'll take it. Some good weapon experience, everybody's at about, so they'll need like 3 more hits each and that'll get them to level 4, Maria's at level 6. Her evasion's getting up there, her accuracy is okay, I guess. I have a plan for how to kind of like fix her accuracy a little bit, so I'm not super concerned about it, but hey, take a look at that. She has more HP than Firion now, by 1, but hey, we're making progress. Eventually she'll have more. I don't know if she'll ever have more than Guy, but like, eventually she'll have a pretty decent chunk of HP, so. So the actual way that we're supposed to go is just to my southeast here, but we don't actually want to go there just yet. We want instead to go to all the way up and around this way because there's a chest up here that I'd like to grab, so we're going to grab that first. Okay, now Maria's going to get all the crits. Okay, never mind, now everybody's going to get all the crits. Oh boy. Metroid says, hi, he's going out to get food. Tell him I said hello back. Hope he's doing good. Yeah, Koshiro literally made the EO soundtracks amazing in the Untold remix EO 1 and 2. No, it's only going from the DS to the 3DS, but still. Yeah, but still, that's a decent, you know, jump in terms of the technology that's available to him, because a lot of the sounds on the DS are just synthesized sounds, you know? So, like, jumping from that to being able to actually use... I don't know if they can use full orchestration on the 3DS, but I can't imagine why they wouldn't be able to. You know, it's got a pretty good sound chip in it. So I'll just let Firion hang out with Poison, it's fine. No big deal. He'll end up with more HP than Maria again, but eh. Alright, so now everybody's attacked 3 times, so, and there goes that slime, so we can take care of that in a moment. We can have... Firion, stand pat. Maria, just keep attacking. Guy, you can use fire again on that guy, and then I'll have Minwu do like a blanket cast of Cure, probably before the boss fight, but I'd like Maria to get a little more weapon experience if she can. I might as well take advantage of the fact these guys have like 200 defense, you know? I think that's exactly how much they have is 200, if not that, then a little bit more. So. Alright, she only needs to hit 1 more time, and then she'll have weapon experience, so... We'll just let her do that, and then we'll just go ham. Okay, and then just do that. Guy, you stay there because your MP's at a good point for the boss fight. And we'll let Minwu do Fyra. 400 damage. Not even bad. Only 21 gil for that, but we'll get some good increases from that. Maria got strength, Guy got strength, Minwu got intelligence. Minwu doesn't need the intelligence, to be fair, but he's been getting a few boosts. He started with 16, he's got 19 just from that fire spell, so hey, I'll take it. That's not bad at all. But yeah, having the level 4 on the knife and the shield is pretty good in here. I feel like it'll get them in good shape. But as you can see with Maria, like, it's taking her longer and longer to get more weapon experience for the axe. It's going to take her another... probably 3 fights where she hits 6 times in order for her to get to axe level 7, so... It's quite a lot for her to go through in order for her to get enough experience, but that's fine. We'll make it work. Here's the chest I was talking about. It has a teleport tome in it, but it's also the first case of a monster in a box. It's a land turtle, so you remember those green slimes that we were fighting? This guy's like their angrier cousin. He's got a lot more HP, and he has a lot of defense. He's also, if I remember correctly, a rank 2 monster, so this might not be a terrible place to get a good chunk of, like, weapon experience, maybe? He's weak to Blizzard, so 1 cast from Guy should be enough to put him away, but I don't want to do that just yet. Maybe we do a blanket protect, actually. Let's get a little extra defense. Yeah, as you can see, that's 5 hits, and we didn't get a single shred of HP taken off of him there, so... Ow! Okay, maybe it would be better for me to actually end the fight then. Hang on. Because I don't think I can survive that too much longer. Well, maybe I'll do a blink. I just want Maria to get a little bit of extra weapon experience from this because it'll help for her to have it, so... I think he can hit a couple of times, but I'm not really super concerned about it. Let's just toss the potion. Well, maybe I shouldn't, actually, because I have a chance to get some HP out of this, so... I think 4 hits should be enough to get her some weapon experience from this. Maybe I'll just go for 5. so that way I know for a fact that she'll get it. I should have just cast Blink in the first place. It's doing a lot better than it was doing. Let's cast Protect. I know, it won't... So here's the thing. The way that it works is that it won't override Minwu's Protect, because Minwu's Protect probably hit more than Maria's Protect did, but... Yeah, it won't override it, but that's okay. So that'll put you to 14. I can cast Fire on the boss, it's fine. And this turtle is considered reptilian. Most reptilian enemies in this game are weak to ice, so just keep that in mind and you'll do fine. Oh, Firion got MP, that's good. Maria got MP. And we got a Blink and Protect level out of that. And we got a Teleport Tome from that, which is something that I can give to Firion, so let's just give him that so that he is in good shape. He can start working on an instant death spell now, so that's pretty great. And other than that, I might as well use that potion I said I was going to. And like I said, I'll just blanket cast Cure from Minwu once we get a little further here. Actually running Minwu's HP pretty good here. It's not too bad. And I'm liking where we are in terms of our HP, because Maria's actually at a pretty solid chunk of HP, considering the fact that we're, you know, she didn't exactly start with a whole lot of stamina to work with, you know, but she's doing pretty okay. It's going to take her longer to get HP and stamina now because she's got a little more HP to work with, and she's got decent defense with the Copper Cuirass, but I guess I could always just go grab some clothes from the shop and give her that so she can get whacked upside the head and take more damage. It'll be easier for her to do that and actually take a little more damage if she's in the front row and everybody else is in the back row, but we'll worry about that in a moment. Alright, more doors again. As usual, well, after I get ambushed by these guys, hold on a second. As usual, the main way of doing this is when in doubt, go left, so that's what we're going to do. I think what I'm going to do first, though, since there's 6 enemies, I can have Maria take them out slowly one by one, but I think I might take out the Goblin Guards in the back row. They have Bow 1, which would help me with getting HP, but it's going to be a while before Maria beats her way back to them, so I think I'm just going to take care of them, and then we can go from there. This first dungeon is primarily about the management of MP. If you can manage your MP okay, you're usually going to be fine going through here. If you can't, it might be tougher for you to do it because you'll have to, like, leave and do that whole thing. Alright, so you won't get weapon experience from this because all the enemies here are rank 1. The way that the battle system's experience points work is that the rank of the battle is based on the rank of the lowest ranked enemy. So, like, since these goblins are rank 1, even if there was, you know, another enemy in here that was rank 2, they wouldn't give anything more than rank 1 experience from the battle, so you just got to keep that in mind when you're trying to go through here. Alright, anyway, there's a couple of doors. When in doubt, go left. And there's the boss. Perfect, so let's do a quick blanket cast of Cure. Get everybody to full HP. Minwu's got 52 MP to work with, Firion's got 5. And he's got a level 1 teleport spell that he can use if I need it, which we might need it to get out of here, so I'm not really super concerned about that. Maria's doing good, and now the last thing I need to do is put everybody back here. And hopefully I get my turn off before the Sergeant does, because if he hits Maria without any buffs up on her, he will probably cleave her in half. But we'll see what we can do about that. So, I mean, we just saved, so like it should make it a little easier to deal with that, you know. And where are we at for weapon experience? Alright, so she'll get to level 7 on her axe and shield by the time she's done here, because the Sergeant is like rank 3, if I remember correctly, so... Yeah, well, we didn't exactly wander too far to get here. I'm surprised no one else has tried you yet. I mean, I'll take your Mithril Blade if you want to drop it for me. You're not dropping it inside my body, though. Uh-oh, ambush! Okay, well, that's fine. One hit won't deal me a fatal blow, so I'm not super concerned about that. Actually, let me cast Shell on... How do I want to do this? Because I can Shell up for bow attacks, because he's got access to Bow 3, which is quite a powerful spell for this point in the game, but we'll see what we can do about that. I've got 13 MP. I can cast 6 level 2 spells or 3 Blizzard level 4s. I'm going to cast Thunder and Fire in an alternation. How about that? Alright, so we'll give you a Blink. I'll let you cast Protect on yourself, that's fine. I'll cast Shell a couple of times. Ow. Okay, might need to do something about that in a minute. The Blink should keep her alive, though, because she should be able to dodge all of his non-bow attacks from now on, so... And then Shell up... I'm not really worried about Guy and Minwu, honestly, in terms of the bow attack, because they have quite a lot of HP to work with, so, like, they should be okay. But I am worried about Maria, so... You know what, Guy? Instead of doing that, why don't you toss that high potion that we got at Maria real quick, and then I can... She's got a Blink already, so I can override her Protect with my own Protect with Minwu. She's not going to do a whole lot of damage, unfortunately, but that's fine. This Protect is mainly just insurance in case he manages to get through the wall of Protect that I've already got going on. 313, that's not bad. I'll take it. And with that, Firion, you're done. You just defend for the... Well, I guess I could get weapon experience on you, but you just defend for now because I don't really need to get that desperate about it. Guy, just keep casting, and then Minwu, why don't you blanket cast Shell, because it's probably going to be better than what Firion was able to do with his piddly level 2 Shell spell. So... Guy, just keep casting, and then Minwu can join you in just a moment, and we can go from there. Alright, so there's that, you do that. Unfortunately, melee damage against a lot of bosses early on in the game doesn't really do a whole lot for us, because the enemies just have so much defense that it's really hard to do much of anything with them. So that's kind of why, in most cases, I usually am just like, okay, well, make sure I have enough spell damage. Did I defend with Guy? Well, this teleport might kill him anyway, so that's fine. Yep, bye. Oh, teleport is too good. And we got some gil, so that means he didn't drop me any items, but I'll take it. It's fine. He can drop some mithril equipment if you're lucky, but... I mean, he could have dropped me a mithril sword, which wouldn't have done my party, like, any good, but... You know, it's there. It's fine. Maria, did you get... Okay, you didn't get enough weapon experience from fighting him, but that's okay. We didn't really need it that badly. Guy got to Thunder level 3, so that's pretty great. So that's at Thundara at the moment, and... yeah, the rest of us are looking good, so... That boss fight went pretty good. We got about 3,600 gil to burn, and... we found some mithril. Perfect. Must be a pretty good load of it, too, because we're going to take this back to the blacksmith, and he can use it to make a whole ton of weapons for us. A figuratively unlimited supply. Or maybe there's more supply behind this waterfall... Behind this... Alright, fine. There is no secret behind the waterfall, unfortunately. I'm just going to cast Teleport and leave with my shame completely intact. So Teleport can bring you completely out of a dungeon. However, it also reduces your HP to critical levels. It reduces your HP down based on the level of the spell. So, because the spell is at level 1, it reduces your HP to 1 divided by 17 minus the level of the spell. Of your total. So, because the spell's level 1, it reduces Firion to 1/16 of his maximum HP. Now, that goes up for every level of teleport that you go up. So, eventually, if you get teleport to level 16, it won't reduce your HP at all. It'll only, because 17 minus 16 is 1, 1 divided by 1 is 1, so you won't get any reduction. But, that requires mastering the spell, and... no, that's a lot to ask. So yeah, no, I won't be doing that, unfortunately. But it's fine. We'll make it work. So. Gamer go monkey brain when see waterfall. There's got to be a secret. There's always a secret behind the waterfall. It's just one of those things that you just do when you have a waterfall in a video game. But this waterfall does not have a secret behind it, unfortunately. So we're gonna take the back way. To go back to Salamand. You could have gone this way to get there as well, to get to Summit Falls, but I chose not to, so. Alright, Firion, you don't have anything, and we're not going to get weapon experience from this anyway, so I'm not really worried about it. We're going to have to pay a pretty penny when we get back to the inn, but that's okay. We've earned a bunch of money. Okay, an agility boost is not too bad, I'll take it. Excuse me. I think I went in here already, didn't I? Yeah, I did, because we talked to those guys. So we don't got to worry about that. I can, however, get some more experience out of this fight, so let's do that. I don't want to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I I could have Guy cast fire on one of the goblins, because then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess. And there'll still be enough for Maria to get some weapon experience out of this. I don't think she'll get to level 7 out of this fight, though, because I don't think she's quite high enough to get there. But we'll see. And I don't mind them bow one-ing me. We should be somewhat okay in terms of our HP at this point to take bow ones, so... Let's get a little experience for fire while we're here, you know. That's it, just keep whacking Maria upside the head with those arrows. That will actually help her quite a bit. Make her angry, make her stronger. Finally beat normal mode, Rabbit and Steel. Yeah, I think you mentioned that last time, actually. Help me, it was so hard. Hard is worse. I don't envy you the fact that you might want to go do hard mode in that game. I feel like that's going to be rough. Oh boy. Well, I wish you luck with it, but hopefully it's not too taxing. I wouldn't go do hard mode until your wisdom teeth are healed up, though, because that probably should take priority in terms of where your mental faculties go. I would just kind of relax for a few days. So... Axe level, shield level, HP, stamina. Perfect! Couldn't have asked for anything better. That's exactly what we needed. And so she's at level 7, and her evasion's going up. She's got 60% evasion now, so that should help with her agility. She's got over 10 stamina, which is more than I've had it sometimes when I've had Maria in this game, because sometimes if you stick her in the back row, she gets no stamina for the entire game. So, you know... The guy's almost got 99% accuracy on his fists, which is good because he only needs 19 strength to actually get there. The accuracy on fists at base is 80%, so if you get to 19 strength or above, you'll have 99% accuracy on your fists for the rest of the game. Like, it doesn't matter what you're fighting. I mean, obviously it factors against their evasion, but like, your base accuracy will be 99% for the rest of the game as a result. We got a little bit more work to do with Firion and definitely Maria, but I've got a plan to help out with Maria at the very least. There's some equipment we can get later on that'll help her stats with accuracy, so... Yeah, that's the plan. I just wanted to check in on you guys now that you're all back to the nice snowy wonderland of Salaman. Do I want to buy... I'm going to buy some spells after I heal at the end first. I don't want to, like, run out of money by accident or something. I don't think that'll happen, but, you know, just in case. Okay, 174, that's, I mean, more than we've paid at any other inn visit so far, but that's not bad. That we can take that. Sometimes I've actually gotten to this point, and Minwoo's actually gotten an MP increase from the boss fight against the Sergeant as well, so we got a magic increase, I think, but not an actual MP increase, so... But he doesn't really need any more MP. He would get, at this point, he'd get up to 144 if he got an MP increase, but we don't really need it, so it's not really a huge deal. And, yeah, other than that, I think we're good. Let's see. 12, 11. Okay, so Firion will still have more HP than Maria if he starts getting a little bit of an HP boost, but that's fine. I'm not really too worried about that. Do I sell the garlic? I feel like I won't need it, and we can probably use it to buy, like, the money that we get from it to buy other stuff. So, hello, Mr. Mage. Do you use garlic in the process of making your tomes? Here you go. And, okay, so here's one of the things. So I was saying before that I was going to get the sap tome for Firion, but I'm actually not going to get the sap tome for him. I have other plans in terms of the spells that I'd like to get, and, well, looking at my list, Life is one that I'd like to get for Firion, because that'll be helpful against the undead enemies we will fight. It revives a KO'd ally normally, so if they're at 0 HP, it'll revive them. But if you use it on the undead, it can behave as if it's an instant death spell, so... It's Firion's second instant death spell, and we're only on the second episode at this point. Like, the instant death in this game gets a little ridiculous. So, we got a teleport tome for free, so I don't have to buy that. I'm going to buy a warp tome, though, just so that we have a little bit of utility in case I want to warp to the previous floor in any given dungeon that we're in. And we'll give that to Maria, because that doesn't reduce your HP, first of all, and second of all, you could use it as an instant death spell, but it's not quite as good as, say, Teleport is or Life is, so... Guy's got some pretty good elemental spells to work on already, so I'll just let him keep working on those, and we'll just give Maria the Warp Tome so that she can just use it for utility whenever we need her to. I really only want her to work on Protect at the moment. She doesn't really need to work on anything else, so... And then Firion, you can have that Life Tome. You've already got 5 spells. You're going to get 4 more by the end of this whole thing. So, same thing with Guy. My notes now have both Firion and Guy learning a total of 9 spells, and Maria learning a total of 3, so... But I do need to sort these a little bit, I think. So let's put that there. And that there, we'll put our buffs on the second line. That can stay the way it is. I'm actually going to put this here because the only other spell I want for Maria is going to go here, and I definitely want it to be ahead of Warp, because I don't want to accidentally click Warp in a fight, because I don't want to use it in a fight. I only want to use it outside of battle, really, so not really too concerned about using it for anything actually useful. So, and we got 1,600 gil to burn, which may seem like a lot at this point, but we're going to have to go buy some equipment when we're done with all of this, so it won't be a lot for very long. If you were planning on, oh, I'll go to the item shop and buy some items, I would save your money, actually. Hey, it's no problem. I'm just glad everybody's in good shape now. So, except this lady, because she's just kind of still simping outside of Joseph's front door instead of being happy that people were back. And how's the young lady doing? Not a problem. Glad you're safe. Alright, let's have a chat with Joseph, let him know we got the mithril. Yes, we did. I don't know, man. I feel like that would have given you more... It wasn't like we found Borgin in that dungeon. I feel like you could have just walked right in there and beaten anything up that you found. Maybe not the sergeant, but, you know. I could ask him about the mithril, but we already got the mithril, so we might as well just show it to him we got it. Yeah, that's the plan, so thanks for the information, I guess. I'll catch you later, Joseph. Alright. I don't know why there's a north entrance out of town when there's just a gate to a bunch of mountains outside of town, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Either way, let's take our money and run. Let's head back to Altair with mithril, and we will take it to the princess, let her know we grabbed it, and then we can move right along from there. That's the way to Cinnamon Falls. We actually want to go this way in order to get them. Oh look, 7 goblins. I don't know if Maria will be able to kill... Because if any one of these runs away, then she loses out on all the weapon experience, but I guess I'm willing to try. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. Well, that's fine. We can just do a little casting while we're here. I could start working on teleport, I guess. Because Blink and Shell aren't doing terrible at the moment, but teleport could probably use a little help. Especially considering the fact that Firion's Spirit is a little low, and we could use a little bit of a boost there. So, hey, might as well even have Minwu work on his teleport. I don't even know which ones I was attacking there. I'm just going to attack random ones. So. Well, we know Minwu's going to hit that one. I mean, he's got enough spirit for it. These goblins don't really have much in the way of magic defense, so... Let's see if you can hit your teleport spell, Firion. Hey, not bad. I'll take it. And that takes care of that. So yeah, if all those goblins had stuck around, Maria could have gotten even more weapon experience, but they did not, so we're a little SOL in that department. I could also go after the airship with Sid, and then he could take us to where we need to go, but since it costs more money than I'd like to pay for that, I think I'm going to pass on that one, so we will just leave him alone and just move away from here ourselves. Gonna keep working on teleport for Minwu because I'd like to get it to a decent enough level. I'd like to get it to at least level 4 before we're done with Bobsk. The next place we're going is Bobsk, so I'd like to get it there if I can. Keep working on Firion's though, because it's an instant death spell and it will come in handy eventually, so once he can hit it reliably. I mean, just using it once is enough to get him a chance of boosting spirit, so I'm not really super concerned about that. Actually, why don't we just have everybody go ham now? Because why not? This whole going ham thing, by the way, if you're playing the Pixel Remaster... Actually, not the Pixel Remaster version. I think they did away with that in that one. The NES version and the Origins version, which is the PS1 version of this game, if you're playing either of those, you can actually decrease stats if you do certain things. So like if you're using a lot of melee attacks, you might actually suffer a decrease to your spirit stat. So I wouldn't actually like attack at all if you're trying to increase your spirit stat. It probably won't work out for you too well. So yeah, just in those particular versions of the game, make sure that you're exclusively using white magic or black magic and at the expense of everything else, because you don't really need the other stuff. So that was the HP increase that Maria gets automatically just now, so we just need to get her a little bit more. But yeah, I'm glad that they took that out in the later versions of this game, because like the stat decreases, they weren't particularly useful, obviously. I mean, I guess it made sense, because it's like, okay, well, you would suffer some decreases, some penalties to the things that you're not practicing, but I don't know, it just didn't feel good, you know? So I'm kind of glad that they took that part out. And I mean, honestly, it was kind of buggy as well, like in the NES version, and I think in the PS1 version as well. Firion actually could get spirit increases just randomly, if I remember correctly. He didn't have to be a white mage, but he would just randomly get spirit increases or spirit decreases depending on what you did in a fight. So it was kind of a weird, buggy mess in certain cases with the stat penalties. So it's probably for the best that they took those out, because they weren't working appropriately anyway. So. Ooh, good. Strength and agility. Minwu got a spirit boost. I'll take it. This is one of those things, though, about this game that I always liked a little bit, is that it gives you a little bit of a dopamine boost every time you get a little increase. It's like, instead of just giving you a dopamine rush when you level up, you get a little rush of it every single time you get a stat boost. I especially get a nice warm, fuzzy feeling every time I get an agility increase in this game, so that's kind of nice. So, might as well just do that, and then let you stand pat. Okay, Maria got her protect off. Oh, good, we got her teleport off. I don't think Vampire Thorn will fall to this, because I think, if I'm honest, I feel like Vampire Thorn might be resistant to matter elemental spells, but I could be wrong about that. Doesn't matter, we had fire there just in case Firion missed, so. Alright, teleport's level 2, fire's level 3. We're in good shape. Guy's got level 2, well, level 3 or higher spells now, so. When I say level 2, I mean it's like his fire is now Fyra, his blizzard is now Blizzara, his thunder is now Thundara. So obviously those will cost him in the MP department, but everywhere else, nah, he's in good shape. So I guess we'll do some blink. We'll keep practicing protect a little bit. Kill it with fire, and then teleport, because why not? Magic is pretty good in Final Fantasy II. It's worth it to have even your melee characters learn just a little bit of magic in most versions of the game. In the versions where you have to worry about stat penalties, I wouldn't teach them as much magic, if any at all, but in the Dawn of Souls and Anniversary editions, this is the Anniversary edition we're playing right now, it's probably worth your time to teach a little bit of magic to everybody, you know, just to give them a little bit of something to do sometimes, if they would. Sorry, steering one-handed. Not exactly working out for the best. There we go. Had the water in the one hand. I was like, I might as well do the turn instead of just drinking this first. Spirit boost, I like that. Good to see. And eventually those will become more common, because we'll be fighting higher ranked enemies, and that'll make it easier for us to get those boosts, but the early boosts will help, so. That's why I like casting spells at least once per fight if I'm trying to work on them anyway, because it's like, yeah, okay, I mean, those will come in handy. They add up over time, so. Got him. Level 2 teleport should be good enough for now with Firion. I could cast more of it, but I'd like to get Blink and Shell to 3, I think, before I work on teleport anymore. Then we can kind of go ham on our instant death spells. We're going to go ham on life pretty soon, because there's quite a lot of undead enemies in the next couple of dungeons we go to, so I foresee myself definitely using teleport and life quite a lot in the future. Mostly life, actually. So we should get good levels out of that by the time we're done. More spirit. Firion's catching up to your intelligence there, guy. I mean, he's really putting in the work today. He's got 15, you've got 12. Wow, you haven't gotten a single intelligence boost since we started this episode. That's surprising. Well, I guess it's gonna happen, you know. Oh, you know, I should probably talk to Gordon before he leaves. I think he leaves after you give the mithril to after you show the Mithril to the princess. But you can talk to him about Mithril, and we can get a little bit of a tidbit from him, a little bit of extra additional information. So let's do that. Why not? I'll be honest, my muscle memory very almost did not talk to him just there. I almost just walked right into the rebel hideout without even a second thought, even though I just said I was going to talk to him, so... Oh, yeah? Interesting. Remember that for later, everybody, because that might actually be something that we see again at some point later on down the line, so... Alright. Let's go present our findings to the princess, and then we will... Probably, if I remember correctly, she has us take it to Tobul, so that's fine. But I think we have to show it to her first before we take it to Tobul in order to get the next mission after this, so... We did, in fact, find the Mithril, yes. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, us and the rest of the rebels, hopefully. Alright, so let's take it to Tobul, and then we can go from there. Come back for our next mission once we're done. Can I just walk straight down here? Yeah, I can just walk right past the building. There's no cobblestone road to take me there, but hey, it doesn't matter. I'll take it. Actually, old man, I heard you were a pretty big fan of Mithril. Well, it's your lucky day. Here you go. Have some Mithril. Sweet. Well, go to work then. It's been too long since I let my hammer ring. I always like that line. I don't know why. It just sticks out in my head for some reason. Okay, sweet. Thanks, Tobul. So there's a new shopkeeper now at Altair, and he will sell, well, Tobul's going to be at that for a while, but he'll sell Mithril equipment to you. So if you take a look, we can get a Mithril knife here, Mithril mace, Mithril spear, Mithril sword. I could buy a Mithril mace for Minwu, but I'm going to not do that. Apparently the Mithril mace is exactly as powerful as Guy's fists are at level 4. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I'm not going to buy Minwu Mithril Mace because he's not really a melee character. He's more of a white mage, so I'm just going to kind of leave him with the staff for now. He doesn't really need a boost in terms of his weapon damage. And also the weapons cost a pretty penny, the Mithril equipment does, so that's why you want to save your money a little bit if possible. So the only real upgrade I think we're going to need to get is a Mithril knife from here. We could get a Mithril axe as well, but I think I have to go to... Do I have to go to Gatria for that? No, I think I have to go to Palum or Poth to get a Mithril axe, so we'll worry about that in a few minutes. But a Mithril knife for Firion for right now will suffice. So let's do that. It's actually the second to last weapon that I'm going to be getting for him in this game. There's only one more weapon in terms of knives. Well, there's 2 more knives actually in the game that I would consider to be worthwhile upgrades for him, but we'll talk about that later. I just think it's funny that, like, I've chosen the output of weapons that requires surprisingly little gil investment in order for it to really get off the ground. Honestly, you could go through the whole game with just your fists and a shield and be just fine in terms of weapon damage. So, like, if that's what you want to do, then you don't even have to worry about buying equipment. You can just, you know, go to town with your fists and you'll be good to go. Let me sell that dagger, though. We don't need that anymore, and we can get a little bit of money back for it. And I'll need all that money because we got to go buy Mithril shields right now, and then when we get to Boffs, we're going to need to buy some silver cuirasses to upgrade from our copper ones, so... Gonna need a little bit of money here. So yeah, there's another vendor. Apparently Mario is at the weapon shop and Luigi's at the armor shop, so... Fair enough, guys. You know, do what you gotta do. Mithril armor, though, is considered heavy equipment, so I wouldn't bother buying this stuff. It's just too heavy to be useful. It doesn't really have a good secondary effect to even justify it. And really, for me, personally, the secondary effects that some things have that are heavy armor, it still isn't really enough to justify me actually equipping it personally, so, like, I wouldn't bother. I'm gonna get 4 Mithril shields, though, because those are pretty good, excuse me. And those are just flat-out upgrades to everything that we have. We don't need the bucklers anymore because we can get the Mithril instead. Don't need the bronze shield, get the Mithril instead, and there we go. So now Minwu only needs to get a silver cuirass, and then he's in good shape. Actually, same for everybody. We just need a Mithril axe, and then 4 silver cuirasses, and we're good to go. I think the Mithril axe is a little on the expensive side, though. I want to say it's like 700 gil? So we might not get quite all of the silver cuirasses that we need just yet, because we can buy all of them right now because we need 200 gil apiece in order to get them. And I mean, compare that. That has the same defense as mithril armor, and mithril armor costs 700 gil. Like, it's a no-brainer. Just buy the silver cuirasses instead. They're lighter. They give you the same defense, and they cost less money. Why would you ever buy mithril armor? It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and head to Bofsk next after the. Oh look, there's new people here. Well, I'll see if the princess wants to send us on that mission. We'll see. Wait till you're a little older, kid. There's quite a lot of death going around. We don't need children dying here, too. Probably in a few that already have died. Well, fair enough. Yeah, so if you went to the town of Bofsk before this, the townspeople would not talk to you. They would just have ellipses as their dialogue boxes. And this guy named the Dark Knight was in charge over there. So you could walk to the center of town and he would have been giving everybody directions on what to do and where to go. We didn't go there beforehand, though, so we didn't get a chance to see the guy, but it's okay. We'll probably run into him later. If he's a high-ranking officer in the Imperial Army, we'll probably just run into him later. Oh, good. Well, let's hope we can find some cover. He's talking about the Dreadnought in a very metaphoric sense, but we'll figure that part out later. Hopefully we can go destroy this thing then. Or sabotage it at the very least so that it can't get off the ground. Oh, good. Well, that'll take them a little bit of time to recuperate from then. Okay. And what would you have us do with the Dreadnought when we get there? I mean, I don't exactly know enough about airships to know how to sabotage that thing. Okay, good. I will attempt to, yeah, at the very least, delay its completion. Okay, sounds good. We're not exactly bomb specialists, but hey, we'll see what we can do to make it work. I wonder if the king knows about the Dreadnought at this point. I don't want to tell him if he doesn't, but, you know, Your Majesty. They haven't told him yet. Okay. We can ask him about the airships, though. Maybe he'll tell us something about Cid. Nope. Okay, never mind. Thanks, Your Majesty. Pay it no attention. Just a passing thought in my head. Do you have anything new to say? I think I asked everybody else. Oh, okay. Well, that might come in handy, because this Borgin guy did betray us and cause, you know, the whole of Fynn to be thrown for a loop, but maybe he's less capable than the Dark Knight was? I mean, a man can only hope, right? Oh, you know, before we leave, I should probably also grab Blizzard and Thunder from Minwu, now that I think about it. He doesn't really need them all that badly, but, like, he's got Teleport to work on instead, but I might as well grab him, you know, because, you know, why not, you know? He's just sitting pretty without him anyway, so. Alright, there we go. So we got a little bit of money to get together, but we can figure that part out when we get a little closer to Bofsk, so. And, I don't know if we'll have enough just from what we've done so far to buy the Mithril Axe when we get to Palum either, but we can get a little bit of money together before we go there. So. And I mean, the Battle Axe is doing pretty well for us anyway at the moment, so like I'm not super concerned about our damage output. But I think I'm going to need to buy a Mithril Bow as well. Not yet, but in a little bit, so I'm just going to have to continue to keep that in mind. Although by the time I need it, I don't think it'll be a huge concern because we'll have a relatively reliable way to get a decent chunk of money together, so I wouldn't be super concerned. We could take the ship back to Poft again, but I think I'm going to walk because I do actually need the money. So let me just go see if the weapon shop has new gear. Yeah, so Mario's over here as well, so now we can see if we can get here. And they've got the spear, the sword, and then the axe and the bow. The axe is a little too expensive for us at the moment, but the bow is 500. We could buy it right now, but since we need the axe, I think I'm gonna just go outside and kill a few goblins so I can grab the axe before I go. Well, actually, I can grab it in Poft, because Palum and Poft's weapon shops have the same stuff. They put a mithril weapon vendor, an armor vendor in Poft as well as in Palum, so we can just go do that and be fine. What's your blink at? Still 2? Yeah, I guess I might as well cast it, why not? And then, you know what? How about this? Let's just go ham for right now. I could cast Fire and Blizzard and Thunder and all that stuff, but we're going to get plenty of time to cast that stuff when we actually get to Bofsk and we're fighting some new enemies, so. Fight a few more of those zombies that we fought near the end of Summit Falls, the ones that were doing pretty good damage to us even with the copper stuff on, so. Another agility boost for Maria, I'll take it. Hey Amarella, how you doing? Welcome back. We are hanging around in Final Fantasy II. We finished up Summit Falls, we took the Mithril back to the princess, and the rebels now have access to Mithril equipment. We availed ourselves of a little bit of Mithril equipment as well, and now we're heading up to Bobsk to try to take down the Dreadnought. So we'll see if that works out for us. Yeah, I might as well cast. No, you know what? I'll change my mind real immediately. Like, I'm just gonna cast Blink. I'd like to get it to level 3 if I can. We could work on some Minwu stuff here as well, but I don't know, I feel like it's probably fine if I do it this way. Just trying to think how I want to do it in terms of his spells. I might move Teleport up here because I'll probably use it more often than the rest. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Or Maria can just kill the guy immediately. That works too. Another agility boost. What are you at now? 20 agility right now? Oh my god, Maria. I'll take it, but holy, that's more than I expected to have at this point. Let's do it this way. Let's put Sap all the way down here, because why not? And then we'll just put some other spells down there later. So, yeah, you know, that works out for enough for right now. So we're gonna need, what, 700 gil to get the Mithril Axe. And we're gonna need an additional 800 to get all of the silver that I need. So that's a lot, but we'll make it work. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Now I don't have to scroll all the way down to get to his teleport spell. Doing some good damage with that Mithril Knife, though, Furion. I mean, guy's no slouch either with his fists, but we're doing some good damage now. We're getting there. In terms of our damage output, there's the automatic HP increase. Minwu's teleport is level 4. Good. That should be as much as I really need for now, honestly. And 6 more goblins. Alright, I'll just heal, do this. You just do that, and then I guess I could work on Blizzard and Thunder. Why not? Just do one of each. And we'll eventually take the whole group out. We can't get weapon experience from Maria here because there aren't enough goblins, but that's okay. We will eventually hit a brick wall in terms of Maria's ability to get weapon experience from rank 1 enemies, because once you hit the hard cap of 8 enemies in a single fight, like, you can't go above that, you know what I mean? So she could get to weapon level 9 if we really wanted to try to find all the enemies and we just, you know, hoped to God they didn't escape on us, but that's tough, you know? So we're just gonna use whatever we get. I'm not gonna try to like grind it out because there's no real point. And especially in this version of the game, there's not really much point to grinding. You might as well just do it while you're walking to places anyway. Then it doesn't feel like grinding, you know? So still getting ambushed, but we'll work on that as we go as well, and that shouldn't be a problem for too much longer. Blink has got to be pretty close at this point to getting to level 3. So let's see if I can get that off before we move on. Okay, well, there's the automatic HP increase. She's still a little behind Furion, but that's fine. We can make it work. Might stick Furion and Guy in the back row pretty soon just to make it so that Maria is the one that gets targeted. Because her agility is the one that I want to work on. Well, really, I want to work on Furion's as well. Because if I remember correctly, if this game is similar in terms of its baseline code to the other versions of Final Fantasy II, I think Furion's agility is the one that determines whether you get preemptive strikes or ambushes. I'm not sure if it's the party's agility or if it's just Furion's by itself. So we do want to work on agility for Furion a little bit, and he's gotten a couple of little boosts here and there, so... And he only needs to cast Blink one more time to get it to level 3. Okay, that's cool. I have 923 on the Gil count, so let's go grab that Mithril Axe. Mario's over here again. Thank you, Mario! And now we can get 1 Silver Cuirass when we get to Bobsk. We need to get 3 more. So that's fine. But now we've got 24 attack power on Maria with that Mithril Axe, and I think... Did she get an accuracy boost from that? Let me see. It was 56, 56. Okay, so it has the same accuracy as the Battle Axe, but the 7 extra attack power will come in quite handy for her. So, and now we'll sell the Battle Axe to you, even though you didn't sell the Battle Axe to begin with. It's a little extra gil. We're almost halfway to what we need in order to get all the silver cuirasses we need, so that's good. Also got to consider, you know, in costs and all that stuff, so we'll probably need a total of about 1,000 gil by the time we get back to Altair, but we should be able to manage that. It shouldn't be too big of a deal. Alright, so let's just get Blink to level 3. We'll let Maria go ham with her Battle Axe, Mithril Axe, or she can just kill the guy immediately without letting Firion cast. That's fine too, I guess. She really wanted to use that new axe, fair enough. I mean, it's a new toy, so might as well. Alright, I should be able to get a Blink off in this fight. Yeah, I guess I might as well. We'll do another Blizzard, another Thunder for Minwu. That's over 200 damage. That's a lot of damage. Nice work, Maria. Yeah, we'll do a Blizzard with Minwu, we'll do a Thunder with Minwu, and we'll just go from there, you know. Did I cast Fire with you? Yeah, I probably should have cast Thunder, because we're going to get a chance to use a lot of Fire going forward, because since Life is going to be handy, that means we'll be fighting undead enemies, and that means we'll also get a chance to use, on top of using Life, we'll get a chance to use Fire, because undead are not only weak to, you know, curative magic, but they're also weak to Fire, by virtue of being undead. So, I'm trying to remember if there are any undead enemies in the game that are not weak to Fire. I don't think there are. Like, I think there is an enemy that I guess might be considered undead, but it's not weak to... Like, it absorbs all forms of magic, so at that point it's not really a resistance to fire. It's just, yeah, I just absorb all magic to begin with, so... Okay, fair enough. Firion, your shell probably needs about 3 more casts to get to level 3. Teleports at level 2. You only need 1 to get Protect to level 3, and then that's 20% of your MP out the window every time you use it. Fair enough. And, yeah, so let's just keep going. I think if I remember right, is the other entrance... Yeah, there's another entrance to the Arcane Labyrinth over here north of Bofsk. There's also one south of Bofsk, so we can just, you know, make that work as we go. So, alright, so let's try to take out the goblins and see if we can get Maria some weapon experience here. I don't think Barrier. Barrier and Life are the only spells right now that Minwu could get any, like, spell experience to get them to the next level, but I don't think we can get it from this fight, so we're just not going to do that. Alright, now don't run away. Don't run away. I need your experience. Okay, thank you. Let's see. We can stay pat from that. Once we get rid of all the regular goblins, the goblin guards don't run away, so that should be a little bit easier. Alright, good. So as long as he doesn't run away, like, right away at the beginning of the next turn, we should be okay. Hit Maria with the bow. She's the one that actually needs the HP levels and the stamina. So. That's not Maria! That's not Mariachi! You're hitting everyone but her. Alright, come on. No, this is getting ridiculous. You know, it might be because I put Shell on her, so their AI might be saying, oh, she's got high magic defense, we won't be able to hit her. Maybe I shouldn't have put Shell on her. Oh well. Lesson learned. I'll put Shell on somebody else next time. I love the sound effect on some of the axes. Well, most of the weapons in this game, I think, have pretty good sound effects, but I just love the tearing sound of the axe in this one. Like, you're scraping the metal against their body, like it's clanging against any other metal that they have on their body, but you can hear the little underneath that. It's very visceral, without showing gore, which, to me, is the best of both worlds. I'll take that 250 gil, the spirit and the agility boost I will take as well. Very nice. But yeah, we should be able to get Guy some more intelligence boosts once we get him a few more spells to work with. Right now he's just kind of rocking the basic 3 elemental spells. He'll be able to get more once he's able to practice black magic without, like, actually killing anything, or, you know, just having enough enemies to where it doesn't matter if he kills anything with it, so... But yeah, that extra agility's coming in handy. Look at her evasion go up, and the more her evasion goes up, the more likely that left number is going to be to actually increase, so that's good. We're working our way. And, Alright, a couple more shells, and then I need to remember to cast Protect in the next fight as well, so that way Maria can get herself to the thing. I think these black mages in here just tell you the same things that the other ones did in the Arcane Labyrinth over to the west of Salamand, so I'm just gonna not talk to them. We'll come back and we'll talk to them later. Oh, good lord. Alright, sure, I'll take it. A couple more shells, so I guess cast this on yourself, Firion, and then hopefully we can get rid of these goblins before they run away. I'll take care of one of them with Guy, just so that way we can minimize the number of them that have a chance to run away. So Maria can get some more weapon experience. I mean, I could get, like, Firion and Guy weapon experience, because they only each need to hit these guys 4 times, but we can always do that later. Okay, good. So now they're not going to attack Firion with the bow because hopefully, it might be random, I don't know, but hopefully they won't attack Firion with the bow because he's got shell on himself. I could cast it on Guy as well just to kind of direct all of the bow attacks at Maria, but we'll see. Because, I mean, obviously the 3 or 4 damage that's doing to Guy isn't really going to, get him an HP increase, so. And Minwu's got high enough magic defense that they won't attack him with the bow, so. Let's see if this works. It might direct all the bow strikes onto Maria. Okay, well, that one was on Minwu, so... Okay, never mind. It might be totally random. I might have just gotten lucky. Oh, well. It's fine. Yeah, Maria takes priority in terms of the weapon levels just because of the fact that that's her whole gig, you know what I mean? Like, she's really only attacking, and I need to cast Protect. I almost forgot. I'll get down to 1 Goblin Guard, and then I'll cast Protect. So... And since it's her whole gig, that's kind of why I want her to be prioritized in terms of getting weapon levels, at least for now. So, well, she missed, but that'll still get her some experience on the spell, so that's fine. And now we maybe get an HP increase out of 18 lost. It's probably not that likely, but the 222 gil is nice. She got a magic increase as well, so I'll take that. That'll get her to 22 MP when she gets a boost. She's going to need 2 more 7 enemy battles in order to get to Axe level 8, but, you know, it's there. And at this point, we're probably at a higher Axe level than she would have gotten to in the whole game in the Origins, which is the PS1 version, and the NES version of this game, but, you know. That's the Dreadnought over there, by the way, so we're going to need to find a way to get into that cave entrance, or cave exit, in order to get to the Dreadnought. The last Arcane Labyrinth entrance, by the way, is just south of here. I think we can see it on the map, if I remember correctly. I think I have to enlarge it. Yeah, this is it right down here. We don't have a reason to go there just yet, but eventually we'll be heading towards Kashuan, so then we'll have an excuse to go there. So I wouldn't worry about it too much for right now. Oh, you guys are out of your hypnotic state. That's helpful, because now you can give me some tips about how to get this done. Oh, and you can talk to the soldiers in this town, because they don't have to actually work, so because Borgin is a lazy sack of shit and doesn't make them work, so they won't attack you when you talk to them, so. Like what? An orb? Yeah, this guy's talking about an Arcane Labyrinth area, so. Alright, well, maybe we'll take a look at that when we get to the Arcane Labyrinth. Okay, I have 900 gil. That should be enough to get me into the inn and also buying all the silver that I need. So, I mean, probably I can recoup some costs by selling the copper, so it's fine. 4 of these, there we go, perfect. And then, oops, go up here. Silver, that'll get us 5 extra defense, very nice. Definitely come in handy for us. Okay, sell the copper off, and then we should be good to go. Don't need any more of that. Got 300 gil to our name, so that's good. Normally, this is the point where I'd say, well, I probably won't have quite enough money because I'm going to need to buy weapons, or I'm going to need to buy spells from the spell shop here, because there are new spells available here, but, well, this is why I don't really need to worry about this, because this is all worse than the mithril equipment that we just got access to. You could go here earlier and grab some of this stuff, but it's not really all that worth it to go all the way out here. I mean, you could if you just want the flavor of seeing the townsfolk work under the Dark Knight, but nobody really says anything other than the Dark Knight, so. Meanwhile, Borgin. Yeah, sure, alright. I'm gonna go take my union-designated break, actually. Alright, and yeah, we've got plenty of gil left to go sleep at the inn, so that's good. So now, all we really need to do from here... Well, actually, I should go buy a 5th silver cuirass, because we're going to need it pretty soon. And then we can start keeping our money in our pockets to start saving up for a mithril bow, actually, so... Yeah, not willing to punish them for slacking off? Huh. A little bit of a softie, isn't he? You didn't hear that from me, though. Anyway, so here's the spells that you can access while you are here in Bofsk. So he's got Fear. We already talked about Fear. It's not particularly good in this version of the game. It might be pretty good in the NES version to waste, to waste a turn with your white mage so that you don't have to, attack or something like that, because it increases their fear score by 20%. So fear scores are measured in a percentage because that's their percent chance to run away. Every time you hit with a fear spell, it increases that percent by 20. Now, enemies could have as low as minus 180% chance to minus 180% chance to run away. So then you would need to hit with 9 levels of the fear spell to offset that, and then an additional 5 levels in order to have them have an 100% chance to run away. So you need a total of 14 levels in the fear spell to hit in order for it to work on some enemies. But those are endgame level enemies. Some of the stuff that you'll find out in the field here has a base fear score of 0 or minus 20 or something like that. Stuff that you can very easily overcome and force them to run away while still gaining spirit. So it might be worth it in other versions of the game, not this one though. So Basuna and Isuna are good for Minwu specifically, and specifically in the Dawn of Souls and Anniversary editions of this game, they're good for him. I would keep them on him no matter what, but we, as in Firion, Maria, and Guy, or Firion in this particular case, don't need Basuna and Isuna, and I'll explain why later, because it's not really important for now. We have Minwu, so we don't need them because he's here. And then Silence, it's a temporary status ailment, that's why I'm not really a big fan of it. So no spells to be bought from Bofsk. They're all white magic anyway. You can't really buy any black magic in this game other than Fire, Blizzard, and Thunder, so not really all that useful to us to buy in terms of that stuff, but yeah, we don't really have to worry about that for now. Let's just worry about getting into the Dreadnought, and then we can work on it from there. Let's see. We're all in pretty good shape. I mean, your Blizzard and Thunder could use a little bit of work, but they're not really that necessary to work on. I'm going to go buy that 5th silver cuirass, actually, since we have enough money to do that right now before I forget. We're going to need a total of 6 of them, but the 6th one we can get for free, so I'm not really super concerned, you know. So just buy that now so I don't forget. We're almost broke again, but that's okay. We'll build up to 500 gil as we go through the dungeon here. There's a couple of chests to find as well that have stuff in them that we aren't using, so it'll make it a little easier for us to just sell that stuff off, you know. Alright, save it up, talk to this gentleman over here. Yeah, I noticed. Not working you guys like dogs anymore, huh? Yeah, I mean, you know, not something that we'll get a demotion from. However, if you feel that way about the army, do you know anything about the rebellion? Yes. So this guy is in disguise. He's actually a spy for the rebellion army. So there you go. So, what do you know about the Dreadnought, then? Yeah, that's us. Oh, great. So we have to go through a sewer level in order to get to the Dreadnought. There's always a sewer level in every JRPG, isn't there? It would be suspicious if there wasn't one, to be honest, so... Alright, but once you talk to him about that stuff, you can head out. And down here. Just checking if there's anything back here. Like a black chocobo for me to ride? No, that's a different game. And if you go down here, you'll end up in the Phantom Village. I mean, Bofsk Cave. Bofsk Sewers? Whatever. So let's just head through the sewers, wade through everybody's latrines. Why the hell not, you know? I mean, we might as well, I guess. Guy, why don't you cast some Thunder, actually, because I don't know how often you'll actually get to use Thunder all that much. These guys are weak to it, so you might as well. Get that Thundara, 300 damage! Just about, anyway. Not even bad. Alright. Grab a longsword from this chest, so that might be an okay-ish upgrade, but you could have bought that earlier, so it's mostly just there for you to sell for gil, honestly. Now, that being said, if I remember correctly... Ah, yeah, so there's a hidden passage right here. There's several illusory walls in the dungeons in this game that'll help you get through them a little bit quicker. Like, for example, there's another one right here. So sometimes it might be worth it to hug the walls so you don't have to go all the way around. Uh-oh, ambush. Well, they missed, so I guess it doesn't matter too much now, does it? Now, the zombies in this area, and all undead enemies in this game for that matter, are resistant to matter elemental attacks like teleport. However, instead of that, you could just use life, because life does the same thing, except, well, it causes instant death to undead specifically. So let's just give that a shot, shall we? Let Maria practice protect, use 20% of her MP on that. Have a blessing from a little angel, friend. Okay, never mind. He did not particularly like my life spell. Now, to be fair, it's level 1, so it's not going to hit particularly well at the moment, but the more undead we face, the more chance it'll have of hitting, because we'll have more practice time with it, and trust me, by the time we're done with this dungeon and the next one, we will have fought a lot of undead enemies, so we will get plenty of practice. So, here's a longbow. We could keep that if we don't have enough for the mithril bow, but that sells for, like, I think 75 gil, so kind of worth it to just do that and then buy the mithril bow in my case. So, this an illusory wall? I don't remember. I guess we're gonna find out, aren't we? You guys just go down to a teleport spell, so let's just do that. Sure, I'll cast another protect. Why not? Cast a thunder, and you can practice your thunder while you're here as well. Why not? I'm kind of just baiting it to see if Maria can get an MP increase, if I'm honest, because she's not going to get weapon experience from these guys, so might as well, you know. Get some teleport going. It's okay if we miss it. The point is to practice, not to hit everything. So, alright, and then you just whack them upside the head, you stand pat, and I don't know, Blizzard honestly might just KO this balloon. They've only got like 20 HP, so Minwu's got decent intelligence, I believe. Yeah, that's enough. Alright, Maria got strength and spirit, I'll take it. Yeah, no illusory wall here, but we do need to go up that passage that that wall is blocking, so we'll see if we can get there from here. Ambush on the soldiers. Gonna get 3 bow 1s, all on Guy, because he's the one that definitely needs the HP. Alright, we'll do a teleport. We'll have you whack this guy upside the head, and I guess just practice more thunder, why not? Jesus Christ, Maria. 200 damage consistently now. That is atrocious. Like, look at the damage Guy is doing with his level 3 thunder spell. Now, granted, his intelligence isn't particularly high, and I mean, Maria's already at level 7 on her weapons, but still, like, usually magic is the way to go in terms of the damage here. I mean, I guess she got a crit, so that's probably why it was 200 there, but, you know. Alright, Guy got intelligence, that's good. We got an antidote out of one of those guys, so that's not bad either. One less thing I need to buy. By the way, that's the reason why Basuna and Isuna aren't really all that useful to Farion and the gang for a little while, because you can just, in this version of the game anyway, in other versions of the game, like the Pixel Remaster, you can only hold a certain number of items in your pack, and they're individually listed. So, like, I think the limit is 48 items, if I remember correctly, so right now we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of our 48 items taken up by just the items that we have in our bag here, and I think key items are included in that amount, so you lose space the further along you go in the game, if I remember correctly. I could be misremembering that, but yeah, so in other versions of the game, you can't just carry as many antidotes and eye drops as you want, but in this version of the game you can, so take liberal advantage of that, because you won't need status curing spells if you can just carry 15 antidotes with you into any given dungeon. Then you won't need to worry about poison, because you can just throw one of them. So. Oh, and I should also mention, it's not even just that. The equipment screen is different in other versions of this game as well, now that I remember that. You can equip a total of 2 items for the party members to use at any given time in battle. If they don't have them equipped, you can't use them in the fight, so they'll just sit in your bag doing nothing, even though you could just very well reach into that in the middle of a fight and be perfectly fine. But if they're not equipped, you can't use them, so good luck with that one. Alright, some Zombonis to take care of. Might as well practice life while we're at it. Maria, you can get some damage off. Fire's pretty good, and I don't think your life spell will get to level 8 from using it here, but why not? Furion's probably not going to hit his life spell, so let's show what happens if we actually do hit it, you know. Hit those single targets. Single targets will do a lot more damage. And the status spells, like life, teleport, all that stuff, they have a higher chance of connecting if you single target them because they're only fighting against one enemy's magic defense. They're not splitting their hits among multiple enemies. So definitely more worth it to single target if possible. So, or just have Maria crit again. Oh, she is destroying things with her axe. Good lord, man. Doesn't get much better than that. Although I think it just got a bit worse. Yeah, here's the Dark Knight. He's got a different portrait in other versions of the game, but I actually like this one because it makes him look more intimidating. There's another reason why I like this one a little bit better, but we'll talk about that later. So, uh-oh. I was too slow in delaying my process of getting here. They finished the whole thing. Well, I'll kneel when I die. How about that? Okay, sure. Wait, how did you get down here? Did you get there when I was piddling around looking for illusory walls? Yeah, for some reason Borgin laughs like a dog barking, but... Okay, well, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. Cecil, is that you? That's what it looks like, if I'm honest with you. Hey, Cephiko, how you doing? Welcome back. Well, I've got some bad news. The Dreadnought's complete, and there it goes. Up into the sky. And there's nothing that we can do about it. I can't even throw a rock at its helicopter blades because that wouldn't really do anything in this particular case. Might do something if I manage to hit it in real life, but it's kind of high up for me to throw a rock, you know. Well, that doesn't mean that we can slouch on our ability to fight things in battle, so let's just fight things in battle, shall we? See if we can practice our life spell a little bit more. We didn't fight quite as many enemies as I thought we would in this go through the Boffsk sewers, but that's okay. We'll get a chance to work on that stuff a little later. I'm going to do another life spell, actually. I'm going to defend a couple of times. Well, actually, Maria, why don't you cast Protect while I'm thinking about it? And then Minwu, why don't you blanket cast Cure on everybody? And then if this life doesn't hit, we'll just take care of this guy later. Like once we are finished with this turn. Yeah, not quite. Life, if I remember correctly, has 50% accuracy against enemies when you use it as an instant death spell, so it's about as accurate, a little more, or rather a little less accurate than a teleport spell. So it's not the most reliable thing to start with. It will become more reliable the further we go, the more spirit we get and all that stuff. Maria got some MP, strength and magic, good. So that'll help. Some extra accuracy for her, 13 strength, she's working her way up. 58% chance to hit in a dream, but you know, we're making it work, so. Hey, get a life, you zombie. He doesn't want to. He's too busy keeping his head in the sand to get a life. I'm liking where Maria's HP is at right now, though. I mean, it's 3 below where Furion's is, but I'm liking where it's at. We're working our way, so. What's in here? Ah, so remember what that guy said earlier when we were talking to the random citizens in Boffsk? He said you'd need a pass in order to board the Dreadnought. So we'll have to keep this because when we get to the Dreadnought, if it ever lands, we'll be able to get on by showing them a pass. So, and then you can leave this area just by using this teleport pad. Sometimes you'll find these at the ends of dungeons, but most times you won't, which is why you want a teleport spell because, yeah, you might want to have that handy just in case. We're doomed, Scoob! Yeah, most people in Boffsk will just say basically that at this point. So, I mean, come on, how bad could it possibly be? It's not like, I mean, you know, games at this time period, they didn't really do crazy stuff with the way that they animated stuff like this. Not like it's gonna go and raise every single town that I've been to, is it? We should probably hurry back just in case that does in fact come to life, because this is the PSP. It's a little higher fidelity. Oh, good lord, I may have wished it into existence. Alright, let's get back just so that way we can take care of that. Do I want Minwoo to get weapon experience here? You know, I might as well. While I'm thinking about it. It's 4 Goblin Guards, so, like, they won't run away. I don't think he's at level 4 yet, is he? Maybe he is. Maybe he already got to level 4 and I'm doing... I think he did get to level 4 already, and this is an exercise in futility. Let me just check, actually, after this fight's over. And then we'll know a little better. Nice agility boost, guy. That'll help. 4, 7.5, 4, 4. Okay, so he's at 4 already. So I guess I don't really need him to get anything higher than 4. 4 is enough. So, I will take it. Alright, Sasquatch, I don't know if I have a lot of time for you for right now. Let's have Maria cast another Protect on herself. It's okay if the Protect spell on your melee unit gets really, really high leveled, because that just means they'll get more MP and more defense out of it, so. And they'll have a higher likelihood of actually hitting it, because their spirit is kind of low, so, like, right now Maria only has about a 61% chance of hitting any individual level of Protect, you know? So the way that it works, basically, is, like, if she has level 3 Protect, she's trying to cast 3 Protects on herself. And all 3 of them could hit. She could roll favorably and get 61% hit on all 3 of them, and then she'll add that 11 spirit times 3 to her defense. She'll get 33 defense. So, yeah, it could roll favorably for you, but it's better to kind of get the levels high enough so that you don't have to worry about it, and you'll get some benefit out of it, you know. So, yeah, we'll work on teleport some more. Why not? Thunder because I can, and then I guess Blizzard because I can as well. See if that teleport works. We might as well work on it now because, like, we won't have as much of a chance of using teleport once we get to the next dungeon because a lot of enemies are undead and so they're resistant to matter. So, yeah, it won't really work out as well for us. I'm casting another Protect. You can't stop me. Unless Minwoo went first, but Maria went first, so it's fine. Okay, we got a Blizzard level out of that, so what do we need? Just 1 for Thunder spell? Probably 1 or 2 casts, and then his Thunder will be good, so we'll see about getting that later. Furion, how are you doing in Teleport? Probably about 3 more casts and you'll be there. Your life spell's almost level 2, so that's good. Maria's working up her way on Protect. Probably once we get Protect to level 5, I won't be as concerned about using it as much, because 5 is pretty good. Like, that's about as much as we'd need. You're pretty well... It's not guaranteed that you'll get 1 level of Protect out of a level 5 Protect spell, but that's pretty good, you know what I mean? It gives you pretty good odds, so... Well, it looks pretty okay here. Oh. Oh. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I really like this detail, though. I mean, it sucks because, you know, all the townsfolk are dead. Yeah, so, like, any NPCs that were just wandering around out here, they're gone. They're dead. The Dreadnought killed all of them in the attack. And the town, like, it has a bunch of explosions all over the place. The buildings are dilapidated because they got hit by shell fire. I like the detail. It's one of those things that you don't really see in a lot of RPGs when, I mean, it's a little bit more of a higher fidelity RPG, but even on the GBA they were showing stuff like this, so I think maybe, did the PS1 version show this stuff as well? I think so. The NES version, I mean, obviously in the NES version you wouldn't see this stuff, but it's nice that they showed that level of detail with this game. They didn't have to, but they did in fact put the effort in, so it's one of those little attention to detail things that I like, so... Alright, before we go anywhere, I need to talk to Sid about this because he's the airship expert here. He might... Oh my god, all of his assistants are dead. He might know what to do about this Dreadnought. Yeah, well, actually, about that, the Dreadnought came through. I'm sure you know that because all your assistants are dead. What do we do about it? Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's a big airship, so I would think you'd blow up the engine. But how do you blow up an airship engine exactly? Ah, so this is why you want to talk to Sid, because he has a new term for us, Sunfire. If you don't learn this now, you'll have to walk all the way back to Poft from Altair once you get a hint as to the fact that Sid might know what to do about the airship. So talk to him on your way back, you'll save yourself a trip. Where do I get some Sunfire? Okay. So I don't need to get... Well, I could get some more Sunfire, and that'll make its engine go crazy, but basically I just need to figure out a way to make the Sunfire blow up, and then that'll be enough to take down the Dreadnought once we find a way to get to it. But that might be a long haul, honestly. Now we know who those zombies were. Yeah, they might have been the townsfolk, just a little bit. That's no good. All right, before we leave, I mean, I could do this in Paloom as well, I guess, so maybe I'll just go to Paloom and do this, but I'd like to buy a Mithril Bow, and, you know, I've got enough money, so I might as well buy it while I'm here. But I'd like to buy a Mithril Bow because we're going to need it. It might be worth your time at this point, especially if you've got Minwu in such a stacked position as I do at the moment. This is specifically for the Dawn of Souls version, so the GBA version, and the PSP version, the Anniversary Edition of the game. You might want to move him to the back row. Just word to the wise. It's probably going to help later. Just a thought. It's not critical, but it's pretty useful to do that. Alright, Mario, hit me up with another Mithril weapon. I need a Mithril Bow this time. Thank you, sir. Also, why didn't you jump on the Dreadnought to eliminate it? Like, you could have done the level or something, man, and taken out Bowser's minion, and then it would have dropped the Dreadnought out of the sky. What the hell, Mario? I'm just saying that because the guy has the coveralls and the red shirt on, so... I'm putting a whole lot of responsibility on a man who just wants to sell me weapons. But, you know. Yeah, teleport again, and then, why don't you cast Protect? I was gonna defend, but no, cast Protect. And then your Thunder's still level 1, so let's see if we can get that going. Okay. Just to get it to level 2. And then we can go from there. Alright, teleport worked. Good. Working our way, Firion. Working our way. Got a Spirit Boost. Got another Spirit Boost. Thunder's at level 2. We are all ahead full. I will take it. It's just kind of too bad that Minwu can't really work on his spirit really too much for right now, because all of his spells are such a high level, it really doesn't work out for him, but I don't know. I mean, I'll take it, you know, it's fine. Let's see. Yeah, you're good. And then these are all level 2. I mean, I guess he could work on his teleport spell, I suppose, but I'd rather Firion work on his. Because Minwu's already at level 4, and that's pretty good. Like, we don't really need it much higher than that. His spirit's pretty good, so he's got a pretty good chance at hitting it. So, Maria got an MP increase, I'll take it. That's 31. She actually has more than Firion now, so Firion, you might want to catch up, brother. She's good for basically the rest of the game now with just that 31 MP, so you might want to, you and Guy might want to work a little bit harder here. I will have you guys cast a little bit so you have an excuse to actually work on your MP. How about that? And then Minwu, you just kind of hang out. Excuse me. We should be able to get some MP increases pretty reliably as we get more levels with these spells, though. Like, I'm only casting once per fight, really, but it shouldn't be too hard to get them, I don't think. You know what, actually, why don't you defend? And we'll have Minwu use a Blizzard spell. Just so he can get a little bit of magic experience out of this. Maybe an intelligence boost. Again, it's not necessary for him to get a spirit or an intelligence boost anywhere, but if he can get it, then that's good. Guy got an intelligence boost, that's nice. Alright, he's at 14 now, Firion's at 18 spirit, Maria's at 13 spirit, so we're in good shape. And remember, Maria gets 13 spirit added to her defense for every level of protect that hits right now, so her level 3 protect could give her 39 extra defense. She will be able to tank very effectively with 39 defense right now. I'm pretty sure the vast majority of enemies we fight cannot overcome 39 defense. There's one exception that I can think of that can, in fact, overcome 39 defense, because it's one of the types of enemies in this game that ignores your defense. So, defense wouldn't really matter in that particular instance, now would it? But we can worry about that later. For now, let's worry about this. That guy was like, nope, nuh-uh, I'm out of here. You can take that to the bank. Nice agility increase, guy. We've been getting a few agility increases this episode. It's kind of nice, actually. I mean, it's because we've been working on shields, so like those being higher and our evasion being higher really are helping with us getting a little bit of extra agility. And Guy's got pretty good agility from that mithril shield as well, or evasion from the mithril shield. He's got 33% evasion. For him, that's pretty great. So I'll take it. Vampire Thorn. You can defend. You can cast Protect. I was going to defend with you as well, but that's fine. Cast Thunder just because this guy's not weak to anything in particular. You'd think he'd be weak to fire because he's a plant, but nope. So we'll just zap him, send him to the Shadow Realm, and move on with our lives. Try to get some Thunder experience for Guy. Some agility. I'll take it. The shield levels are helping. The shield levels are really working in our favor. We didn't get an HP increase out of all of that, but that's fine. This is already level 3. I'll keep working on it. Why not? Might as well, you know. And then I'm avoiding fire because we don't really need to cast it for right now because we're going to have an excuse to cast it in the next dungeon because the enemies are going to be weak to fire. So like, I'll have more of a reason to cast it. First zombies, now plants. I see what's going on here. Yeah, but usually the plants in that case are on my side, so like I don't... The Emperor's playing some dirty tricks. He's trying to fight me with plants and zombies. That's no good. I didn't even plant these plants and they're trying to kill me. I'm picking up what you're putting down. We will play that game eventually. It's one of my favorite games, so like just overall. So we will in fact play it, not to worry. Alright, so we'll just let you do some Thunder, because you used Blizzard already. You're butting in on their war, yeah, so they must just be getting hurt about the fact that I'm just jumping in. They're like, nah, let us kill the zombies. You don't need to be here. You're the one that's going to get your brains eaten by going and fighting the zombies. Let us handle it. We won't let them handle it. There's an HP increase for Maria. Yeah, so she's still a little behind Firion in terms of the HP because her stamina is 11 and Firion's is 12. She's going to be behind Guy for a little while because he's got 17 stamina, but we can probably stick her in the front row at this point pretty reliably and she can just tank some hits, but especially with the Silver Cuirass, like... Okay, yeah, so I think Altair got hit pretty hard as well. It's just one of those things, like every time I walk in after the devastation of the Dreadnought attacks, it's just one of those things that just like... I don't know, it just feels right for the game, you know what I mean? Also nice for our end cost there, but... Yeah, it just feels right for them to have that kind of... It would feel weird if they said, oh, the Dreadnought was a big problem, and then you walked into towns and it was just like everybody was still walking around, you know? Now that the NPCs are gone, there's damage to the buildings, there's damage to the streets. Again, it's those little attention to detail things for me that really hit me on the head, you know? So... Well, let's go see what the princess wants us to do. You guys okay? I mean, yeah, pretty much, so... Okay, so a lot of the townsfolk, at the very least, not all of them, but a lot of the townsfolk decided to hide in the rebel hideout, which is good, because, you know, that means they aren't dead. So... Good, good. Keep them safe, because you never know if the Dreadnought will... you know, decide to come back. You should be scared, kid. It's a giant friggin' airship, but we'll see what we can do about this. I get the feeling the king is going to be a little distraught after what happened, because nobody told him about that, so he's probably like, what the hell? Why is there an earthquake? Oh, boy. Listen, man, it was a big friggin' airship. It's kind of difficult for me to know what to do with that when I'm not a bomb specialist. Oh, okay. I'll go talk to the king, but first let's see what Her Majesty has to say. Oh, I should mention, I talked to her a little bit before I should say this. If you're playing alongside me, but you're playing in either the Dawn of Souls or the Anniversary Edition of the game, you don't really have to do anything. But if you're playing the NES version, the PS1 version, or the Pixel Remaster, it might be worth your time to remove Minwu's equipment at this point. Especially the conch shell that he comes with in the NES and PS1 versions, because that sells for a pretty penny. So definitely don't let him leave with that. Because the king is dying now. Probably from the stress of the Dreadnought coupled with the arrow injury that he took. And Minwu is a white wizard, so... yeah, that's unfortunate. But that's his job. His job is to ease his pain. So, as a result of that, Minwu has a new responsibility. He will take his leave from the party, and now it's just 3 of us. So now you see why I was working on Blink and Shell and Teleport and Life a little bit and Cure, because now we don't have Minwu to fall back on. So Firion, you better pick up the pace, brother, because you're the white mage in the party now. So... I help you this much and you strip me naked? Brigands! Yeah, so the reason why you would strip... I mean, obviously it's just for a gameplay thing, but I kind of like that in the Dawn of Souls and the Anniversary Edition version, there's a good reason to not strip him naked. We'll talk about it, but if you're playing the version that I'm playing, don't strip him naked. He will need the equipment, if you know what I mean. So... Alright, well anyway, let's go see if we can see what... I mean, I know he's only been in there for 30 seconds, but let's see if he's made a diagnosis for the King's condition and can help him out. What's the sit rep, Minwu? Yeah, probably the stress from the Dreadnought and all that stuff would be a big problem. Right, so we know that part. So, Your Majesty, what did you need to tell me? Yeah, sorry, I probably should have brought that to your attention. Okay, no, we're not surrendering. That's crazy talk. Don't think like that. Do you have anything new to say about it? No. Yeah, actually, Sid mentioned something about how airships function. He mentioned something about the Sunfire? Ah, so the Sunfire, the root of all Sunfires in the world, is in a brazier in Kashuan Keep, and it is currently sealed in order to protect the Sunfire at Kashuan. To get at it, we'll need to use a new term, the Goddess's Bell. So where do we find that? Oh. Okay, so we'll just need to go find Gordon. Too bad he was outside when the Dreadnought attacks. Oh, that's not good. You know anything about, well, either Sunfire or the Goddess's Bell? I like this little exchange from Minwu as well. It gives you a little world building, but it doesn't feel like he's just telling you this to tell you. It feels natural to the conversation, you know what I mean? So, okay. Alright, so we need to find this Eagle's Torch then, and then we can take the Sunfire from the brazier while the brazier is being cleansed, and we can use that to take care of the Dreadnought. Okay. Anything about the Goddess's Bell? Yeah, he was outside the last I saw him, and that's not good. Huh. Someone close to Scott or Gordon, huh? Okay. I think I know what I need to do, Minwu. Thanks for the heads up, because Hilda is the person that was closest to Scott in this world, so I hate to use her for this, but we gotta talk to her about it, so... Yeah, about the Dreadnought. We might have a lead, Your Majesty. The Sunfire. Right. Yeah, we heard about that part. It gets passed out of the brazier every 3 years. Okay, but what did they tell you? Yeah, we need the Eagle's Torch in order to pass it away. But we do need it to destroy the Dreadnought, or we can use it to destroy the Dreadnought. Ah, we can walk there. It's not that far of a walk. I mean, I know time is of the essence, but... Actually, we may have a solution for that as well, Your Majesty, because your father told us about the Goddess's Bell. Yeah. Yeah, so in order to open the gates to Kashuan Keep, we'd either need to find Gordon, because as far as we know, he's the only surviving member of the Kashuan royal family, or any Kashuan for that matter, because the Empire laid waste to the kingdom before the game events began. Or we could find the Goddess's Bell. Unfortunately, it's in the far north regions of the Snow Plains to the northeast of Salamand, and there are a lot of enemies in our way. But we don't really have much of a choice. We can't find Gordon at the moment, so we're gonna have to. Okay, we'll go talk to Joseph about it then. Thank you, Your Majesty. We'll be back. No time to waste. Let's head back up to Salamand and see if Joseph knows how to get to the Snow Plains and get to where the Goddess's Bell is. I really could use a little more MP, but before we go into the next dungeon. But I think I might have a solution to our MP issues. So we'll see what we can do about that when we go there. First, let's just head this way, though. we'll get back up there first, then I can worry about my MP problems. My MP problems are constant and unending. But yeah, so it's just us 3 now, so we're gonna have to make this work with just 3 people again. It's all good, we'll make it work. It's just, it's gonna be a little bit trickier with some battles because it's just us, At least Furion's hitting his teleports now, so that's good. And he'll only continue to hit them the further along we go, so that will also be good. But yeah, I should probably move Maria into the... Well, she's in the front row, but move Furion and Guy to the back row, so that way she's the exclusive target of enemies, because that way she can gain more agility. So let's give that a shot, shall we? And we also get to use this as an opportunity to test and see if Maria's agility will affect our preemptive strike rate, because if we start getting preemptive strikes eventually here, even though Furion's agility isn't as high as Maria's, that means it's a party-wide thing. It's not just Furion's agility that determines preemptive strike rates. So, if it gets to the point where we're still getting ambushed a little later in the game, I might be able to, like, accommodate for that by trying to get Furion some extra agility, but I'm not too concerned about it, It's just one of those things we'll figure out as we go. I mean, it won't matter if they ambush me if they can't hit me anyway, so we'll make it work. I should probably sell some of the equipment that I've got, even though these towns are dilapidated. I think both the pirate that hit on Maria and the lady that hit on Furion both died in the Dreadnought attack here, so that's... Yeah, it was his daughter. So that's deeply unfortunate. I mean, it is what it is, but there is, like I said before, there is a lot of death in Final Fantasy II. It's just everywhere, man. You can't escape from it, so... It's just one of those things, so... Alright, but anyway, we sold off our excess. We've got the Mithril Bow, we've got the Silver Cuirass. We'll let Maria tank some hits, potentially. I was going to say, I'm surprised that he even made it through her defenses there, but it was a crit, so it's not really shocking now. No, I'll just have you defend. Protect level 3 is good enough for our purposes. And then Bring the Thunder. If we can get that to level 4. Sorry, I just hit the pop filter, my bad. Probably made a little bit of noise. We'll let Maria do a little bit more in terms of weapon attacks when we get to the point where, okay, Guy's Thunder's level 4, that's good, so that should give him a potential chance to gain some MP if he casts his level 4 spells. It also might be worth it for us to level Blizzard a little bit more now, because like I said, when we get to the Snow Cavern, that's our next dungeon in the Snow Plains. There's a lot of undead enemies up there, so Cure, we can cast Cure to deal damage, we can cast Life to instantly kill them. I'll probably be using Life more than Cure, to be fair. But, so basically Furion and Guy will have a chance to use their spells to good effect, and, well, it's a Snow Cavern, so the casting Blizzard probably won't really do us a whole lot of good. I would still level it up, though, because there are more land turtles where that one in the Monster in a Box in Summit Falls came from. And most enemies that are reptilian or amphibian in this game are weak to ice, so it's worth it to have a decent level Blizzard spell. It's also worth it to have a decent level Fire spell, because there are more enemies weak to fire in this game than any other baseline element, so... Yeah, worth your time to level... Really, it's worth your time to level all 3 of the basic elemental spells, and then maybe Scourge if you really want to. If you really want to try to, like... The enemies that are most inconvenient in the game in terms of, like, your options against them are the ones that are weak to ice, though. So, like, most of the time, if they're weak to ice, they also have massive physical defense, and they're not particularly weak to other stuff either, so... Blizzard is probably the most important of the 3 elements to raise, but Fire is good against all the undead enemies in the game, and there are a lot of them. I think like half, not half. A quarter of the bestiary, if I remember correctly, is considered undead, so it's or weak to fire in some other capacity, so it's worth it to fight all of those enemies with fire, but you have other options. You can use Cure, you can use Life, so there's more to it than just what meets the eye. I could cast Blink and Shell, so then Guy can get a chance to use Blizzard here and get some extra MP out of that. Because then that'll give Furion something to do. I guess, I mean, in this case I can cast Teleport because there's 4 enemies, but I'm just trying to burn their MP so that they have a chance to get an MP boost, like with our highest level spells. So we don't need it that badly, but I might as well give it a shot, you know. Why not? Because we're gonna need a little bit more to get through the snow. Well, I guess we don't need a little bit more. I know how I can make it so that we don't need a little bit more, but it will take some effort to get the other MP boosting, quote-unquote, methods. So we could have used Sap with Minwu to get them more MP. If we would have gotten up to about 50, that would have been pretty great, but we were not able to do that, so it's fine. Alright, so now if nobody runs away, Maria can get some weapon experience out of this fight. So let's see if we can get rid of the regular goblins first, and then that should be good enough. So. That was a spicy bow one. Alright, I'll take it. Alright, now don't escape, little goblin, because I need your experience. Thank you. And, you know, every little bit of HP that ticks away from her body is a chance for her to gain stamina and HP, so then she'd have as much stamina as Firion. That would be pretty great. Every time they miss as well, that's a chance for her to gain agility, so yeah, this is working out. We're getting our gains, bros. We're getting massive gains from Maria, from her being, wielding this massive axe and just hefting it over her head and cleaving these enemies in two, and then the shield is helping her dodge, so I will take it. Alright, no boosts at all in that fight, which is a little unfortunate, but yeah, she only needs to do that, a type of battle like that one more time, and she'll be at axe and shield level 8, which is atrocious for this point in the game. Double what Firion and Guy are at, but that's okay. It will mean that she'll be in great shape going forward, so. And she's got, okay, so 13 strength isn't too bad. That'll help her out a little bit. Guy, you're still just sitting pretty at 17 strength. You only need 2 more strength boosts across the rest of the game to get the 99% accuracy, which is pretty grand, so. Excuse me. It's just unfortunate Maria didn't get any HP out of that fight after she took a couple of spicy bow 1 attacks, because a little HP there would have helped her. Some stamina as well, but I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you just don't get lucky on the rolls, you know. So. Alright, let's take a nap, and then we'll go talk to Joseph and see what he knows about the snow cavern. Okay, up we go. Do you guys have anything new to say about the Dreadnought? No, I don't think so. Yeah, no. Because Salamand was not hit by the Dreadnought. It kind of just... The Dreadnought went in the direction of Altair because they knew that was where the rebels were coming from. So it just laid waste to everything on the way there. But Salamand was not on the way there, so it was spared, thankfully. I mean, it's a small victory, but it's a victory nonetheless. Yeah, but we've got a bigger problem, unfortunately. We need to get to the snow plains to find the Goddess's Bell. Okay, you have a snowcraft, that's good. Will you take us there? Okay. Yeah, I don't think we looked at the bluestone when we went in the mine the first time, but there's a bluestone on the first floor, and there's a hidden passage that leads to where the snowcraft is kept. So we'll go take a look for that. That's all good. Oh, okay. So he's gonna lend us his arm, and his arms are pretty strong. So Joseph joins our party. So he's going to fill in the 4th slot where Minwu left us while Minwu was taking care of the king. So there you go. Let's take a look at him. He's got pretty solid HP at this point in the game. Only Guy's got a little bit more than him, but not by much. And Joseph's got some pretty solid stats to back it up. He's mostly meant to be a monk, so he fights barehanded. His barehanded skill level is level 2 already. He comes with leather armor. It's not particularly good for him. But as you can see there, he's got 99% accuracy, so that means his strength is higher than 19. And yes, it is. It's 24. He gets 24 HP every time he levels up HP. He has 24 strength. He's got 24 agility. He's got okay stats for spirit, intelligence, and magic, but he's mostly meant to be a bruiser, so that's what I would use him for. If you want to keep using him as an unarmed fighter, then by all means, keep him barehanded. Get him a shield, but keep him barehanded so he can use that stuff. However, I have a different plan for Joseph. I'm going to give him a bow. It's not as effective as his bare hands right now when he's using both of his bare hands, but to be fair, if he was going to use his bare hands, I would be giving him a shield and cutting his attack power in half anyway. So, but I'm going to have him use a bow, and I'm actually going to stick him in the back row. It's a little bit of a bizarre setup for Joseph, but in this particular version of the game, it is pretty helpful. Not really for now, but for later, if you know what I mean. We will see him back safe and sound, Nelly. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, welcome, Yang. I mean, Joseph. Yeah, he's a little... In this particular case, he's a little different from Yang. We're letting him equip Rosa's weapons, which is probably not something Yang normally can do. But there you go. Do I have anything of his? I can sell the leather gear that he came with that I won't need, I guess. So let's do that before we head out. Take it to the armor shop. It's armor. Might as well. Sir, I don't know what you're going to do with this because you sell bronze equipment, but here you go. Alright, and we actually have enough money now to buy an ether. So if we wanted to take the ether with us into the snow cavern so that we can, you know, get some extra MP back, we could do that. But we only have enough for one ether. How are we going to get more? Well, for right now, we don't need to worry about that. We'll just worry about getting the snowcraft. But I do have a plan. Yeah, remember that for later, viewers. Something like that, yeah. But I do have a plan in terms of getting us some more ethers, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes here. It involves something you might not expect from an older Final Fantasy game, but we'll get there. Actually, I need Joseph to attack, so let's have everybody just kind of stand pat and let him practice with the bow. Because he's level 1 on his bow, so he's not going to be particularly accurate at first, but we'll make it work. Okay, there's the automatic HP increases. And Maria should be getting hers in a couple of battles. Good. I didn't mention this when we were coming back from Summit Falls, but ooh, actually I might be able to use this for Maria. So, Joseph, you just stand pat. I know you're working on the bow, but for now, you just hang out. You'll have plenty of chances to shoot things in our pass through the snow plains, so... Oh. You took my experience with you. Alright, fine. I'll just attack you guys normally. Let's see. You can cast Blizzard Spell. Now, Joseph, because he is equipped with a bow, he can actually... Oh, he can't? I was going to say, he can actually hit the enemies in the back row, but apparently he can't target them. That's surprising. I would expect him to be able to hit the Goblin Guards because he's equipped with a bow, but maybe he just can't target them. Well, that's a little weird. I don't use bows very often in this game, but they can be pretty damn powerful, so we'll let him kind of hang out and do that. So he should be at bow level 2 now, so we'll just let Maria go ham on the rest of these guys, and I mean, I guess I'll let Joseph do that in case he wants to get the kill. Yeah, he can wear the leather while making more bronze equipment. Yeah, there you go. That's a fair way of doing it. Alright, bow level 2. So we'll just keep working him up in that direction. He'll get some more... He doesn't really have high accuracy for right now with the bow, but I wouldn't worry about Joseph's accuracy. He'll be accurate enough with the bow eventually, so not super concerned. I didn't mention this when we came back this way from Summit Falls. If you go down this way, and you go to the forest down there, the forest actually has some stronger enemies at the moment, and they're still a little too powerful for us at this point. They're enemies that we'd be fighting eventually when we get to Kashuan, so a little too strong for us at this point, but we will be able to fight them pretty soon, because after we go to the Snow Cavern, we're going to have to go to Kashuan in order to get the... not the Goddess's Bell, in order to get the Sunfire, so... yeah, just keep that in mind. You may be able to come back here in order to fix some enemies a little bit more easily, I guess, in order to fight some enemies that would be troublesome otherwise. I'm just going to let you defend. You cast Blizzard, and then you can bow these guys twice, and then you'll get a bow level out of it. I just want to get Joseph's bow level as high as possible in the process of running through the Snow Cavern, basically. Because the higher it is, the closer he'll be to Maria in terms of his damage output. And that is very nice, because Maria's damage output is already pretty obscene. So... Alright, Maria, why don't you finish it off, because Joseph missed his 2 bow shots, but he's gotten 2 hits, well, 2 attempts, so he'll get weapon experience out of this. There's your HP, guy got some intelligence. Very good, very good. You know, thinking about it, now that I think about it, because we were having some emulator issues when the game first started up today, it might be because of the water, actually, because maybe the emulator was flipping out a little bit because there was a lot of things moving on the screen, so I might want to keep that in mind. It might be worth it to not start up near water next time. Like, try to save where the whole screen is just dry land, so there's nothing moving, you know? But I'll figure that part out. It was the only, like I said, it's the only time that the PSP emulators ever really had a problem for me, so knock on wood to make sure it doesn't happen. Anyway, here's the blue stone that Joseph was talking about, so if you go up and to the right here, This is the spot. So you go fix this wall for us. Alright. Hidden door in the rock wall. So let's head up and in. And go around these stone pillars to grab what we're looking for. It should be right back here. Yep. And we get the snowcraft from this chest. So now we can head to the snow plains, and we can head to the snow cavern where the goddess's bell is kept. So let's not waste any time. Let's head right up there. Probably have to fight a fight or two on our way out of the Summit Falls cave here, but that's okay. Whole bunch of goblins. I'll take it. Why don't you throw a cure around? I'm gonna go straight to the snow plains, but I'm not gonna go to the snow cavern just yet. I'm gonna go get a full heal first, and then minimize the amount of whatchamacallit I do. Minimize the amount of MP that I use and all that stuff before I actually go to the snow cavern. We want to be prepared before we go there, you know. So, as prepared as humanly possible, anyway. Oh, you took my experience with you again. Alright, fine. Throw a teleport out. You go and attack somebody. You use a blizzard, and then Joseph, you attack as well, and then we'll let you get some bow experience while we're at it, because there should be one enemy left standing as long as you hit your bow strike here. So I'm just baiting in terms of MP for Furion and Guy so that they can maybe get an MP increase. So nice, that'll work. Alright, you go like that, and then you go like that. And that's enough. Perfect. Hey, Maltea. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Welcome to our raiders. Thanks for joining us. We are playing Final Fantasy II. I didn't see if we got any gains just there, but that's okay. Yeah, we just got the Snowcraft, so we are heading to the Snow Plains after this in order to see if we can find the Goddess's Bell. Here's what we're looking at in terms of our stats right now. Maria's our melee unit. I know that's the most bizarre thing you'll probably hear today, but Guy's our black mage, Joseph's using a bow, Furion's our white mage. My setup is a little unorthodox, but it's fine. It has worked out well enough so far. Whoops. But yeah, welcome to anyone sticking around from the raid. Now we have no problems instead of snow problems. Yeah, pretty much. We'll have snow problems in just a moment because we'll still have to fight some enemies in the snow plains in order to get to where we're going, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So yeah, we'll go straight up there right now, but probably not for the reason that you're thinking, which would be, you know, because we're actually going to our destination. We're gonna take a little bit of a side excursion here, although it's not really that much of a side excursion. We're not gonna have to go out of our way to get to it. Does this version of Final Fantasy II have the minigame? It does, in fact, have the minigame. Marie already knows where I'm going with this. If you don't know, you'll find out in a few seconds once these goblins get out of my way! But yeah, we'll go make it work here. Actually, Maria, why don't you just defend, because I want Guy and... Well, I want Joseph to get enough weapon experience from this, and I think... Did he get the bow level 3 already? Maybe that was what we got from that fight, bow level 3. So I'm going to have him hit 3 times in order to get the effect. That was a spicy bow one. In order to get the weapon experience out of it. So now everybody just defend. Actually, Maria, you can attack now. And then we'll go like that. There we go. Because then as long as Joseph hits these 2 bow attacks, he should get some weapon experience. I mean, even if he doesn't, it's fine. But if he hits them, first of all, then he gets the experience, and second of all, then we end the battle. So that's helpful too. So, alright, so did he get the experience for that? Yes, he did. So he's working his way up. He's got 2 more fights, and then he'll be at bow level 4. His evasion is low, but since he's using a bow, like I said before, you can take advantage of the fact that he can go in the back row. And then he doesn't need evasion from the back row. His agility would be... having a little more agility would be beneficial, but, like, it's not necessary for him because he doesn't need to dodge anything, so... Alright, so now that we have the Snowcraft, you can kind of just... Before this, you couldn't walk onto the snow here without... Like, you basically just get stuck right here. But now that we have it, you can go on it, and it's basically like a little sled with a sail on it, so that's kind of cool. There are some enemies out on the snow plains, though. There are icicles, and there are... I think the Sasquatch's meaner cousins are up here as well, so we'll have to watch out for those guys. I'm going to cast Protect just for the hell of it. But this is where fire is going to start coming in handy, because we can blanket the field with it and do some pretty good damage, so let's do that. I actually like how MP cost for spells is linked to the level of the spell, meaning if you grind out something later, you have a lot of MP to raise the spell. Yeah, it's kind of nice. It helps the spells to feel... The spells feel more powerful the further you go in the game because of the fact that you not only gain more spell levels, but also more MP to cast them, which always felt good to me. It feels like a loop that just sort of feeds into itself, you know what I mean? So that's kind of nice. But yeah, lots of enemies out here weak to fire. Fire level 3 is enough to apparently AoE them all down, so that's pretty good. And we'll keep that in mind. So Marie was mentioning a minigame. I believe it's hold... Is it hold A and press B 23 times? I forget. I'm going to find out in a second. Yeah, okay, so it's hold A and press B 23 times, or hold X and press circle in this case. And if you do that, you can start a minigame. What's the minigame? It's a matching minigame. You are timed, but you're also recorded in terms of the number of misses that you've had in this minigame. So let's take a look, see what we can get. Okay, that's not Firion. I'm just looking for like a... Okay, I think, yeah, this is that. I'm looking for a familiar face. Okay, so that's not familiar, but it is the same one. So, all right, sure, we'll do that. There we go. That's not familiar. Okay, I'll take it. Joseph was here, and then Minwu was here. All right, so you're timed. The time is basically just for your record. Like, if you do it faster than before, that's cool, but it's not. That's not the important part here. The important part is the number of misses. You want to minimize the number of misses if possible, so that way you can get a better reward, because the less misses you get, the higher your reward. In this particular case, we got 10,000 gil from getting 3 misses. We also got a Phoenix down out of it. Do you see why I wasn't worried about money? You don't need to worry about money as long as the Snowcraft minigame is in the game. Now, you don't need to do this very much, because obviously at this point we can buy 10 ethers, so like that's plenty, but I'll do it a couple more times just for the hell of it, you know, why not? So, that's not familiar. Oh, that's familiar. It was here, right? Yeah, okay. Firion, no. Was this? No, that's Minwu. Well, now I'm just messing up on purpose. This was Minwu. There we go. Joseph was up here, yeah. That's Firion's there. I think that was, nope. There you go, okay. Yours was here, and then, were you here? No, that's Guy. All right, there we go. Now, obviously, if you miss a lot, like in this case we missed 9 times, so you're not going to get much money. We only got 200 gil in this case. But they do give you item rewards for doing this. You get a potion and an antidote out of a 9-miss win. Anything below a 9-miss win will get you the same prize. It's basically the consolation. But you can also win ethers from doing this. I believe if you get a 0-miss win, you get a cottage and like 25,000 gil. So like it's an obscene amount of money you can get out of this. So there you go. 10,000 gil. Yeah, it prints money. 0 misses though. That's complete luck. Unless there are preset puzzles like Mario Bros 3. See, now we're thinking with portals. There actually are preset puzzles. The way that it works is that the puzzles are in sets of 32 puzzles. So if I played 32 puzzles and then I played a 33rd puzzle, it would be the first one that we played already that we got a 3 miss on. It would loop back around. They're randomized every time you start the game up, but it loops back around after 32 puzzles. So if you wanted to, you could write down the first puzzle and then start the game and give up 31 times and then start it up again and you'd be back to the first puzzle. And then you could just get a 0-miss win and get a lot of money out of it. So... yeah, time to count some cards, Mr. Big Time Gambler. Yeah, I'm not going to count cards. I'm just going to play this a few times just for the hell of it. At this point, we've got enough money to do what we need to do in terms of buying stuff from the shop, so I'm not really super concerned about that. Firion, were you? Yeah, there we are. Gotta be careful. I think Guy was up here. Yeah, there we go. I want to try to minimize our misses if I can. We're at 4 now, so... okay. You were here. Alright, that'll work. 4 misses is 5,000 gil, a gold needle, and an ether. So that's actually a really good one, because then those ethers are worth 1,000 gil. So that's basically handing you like 7,500 gil on the silver platter. The Phoenix Downs are only worth 500, but that's still 10,500 gil you're getting just for nothing. So I'll take it, you know. I don't know why I'm just doing this in random places now. Usually I go like, where was he? I don't want to spoil his name yet. Boy, this is a bit of a bust, huh? We already got 5 misses, and I've barely gotten anything on the board. Okay, that's that. Nope. Nope. Okay, found Firion. Yeah, that was kind of... Okay, so we can give up on that one. Now, that will be saved, so the next one that we go to will be a completely different board. So now if we do this, we'll get completely different cards, so... And really, finding the first one is the tough one here. And I mean, honestly, if I was paying attention a little bit more, I feel like I'd be in better shape here, but... No, where was he? Yeah, okay. I wasn't paying enough attention. I was thinking too much about, like, here's how you use this in order to make money, but there you go. Know how you learned about this minigame? You bought a cheat code book back in elementary school. It was a book that had random AF code from a bunch of different games. Oh, nice. So you got a little bit of a tidbit from someplace else. I learned this one from the official Nintendo Power Strategy Guide for the game, which I owned. We used that for the Mario and the Thousand Year Door playthrough, and it worked out pretty well. I don't have that strategy guide anymore. That one became moth food. The Mario and the Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door one was basically moth food when we used it in the playthrough. This one became moth food. We opened it so many times and used it so much that it was basically just dead, like years ago, so... We had to throw it out, but, you know, it helped for what it was worth, so... Oh, that's a good start. Alright, careful. Nope. Nope. Okay. Alright, haven't seen Minwu yet. We've seen Guy already. Where was Guy? Here? No. There's Guy. Nope. But Minwu's here. There's Maria. About here. Did we see him yet? Damn it. No. Okay. Ah. Alright. Here's a 6 miss win. We'll get 1,000 gil and a gold needle. It's not bad. So I'll take it. Love how the Chocobo theme is fucking mandatory for all Final Fantasy games. Yeah, it's in this one too, right here in the Snowcraft minigame, but it's also in this one for a different reason. We'll talk about that in a little while, but not yet, so... We'll do one more game, hopefully. We'll do one more successful game, how about that? And then if we get this one successful, we'll be good. Haven't seen Joseph yet, that's good. That's lucky. Nope. Did we see Maria? No. We've seen Firion, though, haven't we? Is he right here? Yeah, okay. Okay. You were up here. Yeah. You were here. Alright, now it's 50-50. Nope. Okay. 5 miss win. I'll take it. We haven't gotten that one yet, so... 3,000 gil and an ether. Again, those are ethers that I don't have to buy, so that's pretty great. And just like that, we have over 20,000 gil to burn. Perfect. We can go buy a whole bunch of ethers with that. And we've already got 2, to be fair, so that'll help us quite a bit in terms of our money. So yeah, I'm not really worried about money anymore. If we need some money, I'll just go play cards, basically. I don't know where the money is coming from in that case. I think we need to look into where these guys are getting their cash from. They might be hiding something, but I mean, it helps me. It benefits me, so I feel like I can maybe overlook that. Maybe it's like under the floorboards or something in the Snowcraft, and in order to unlock the little treasure boxes, you have to play cards for it. I don't know. But yeah, that's a great way to get some money together in this version of the game. It's, as far as I'm aware, it's available in every version of the game from the PS1 version on. I think it's even in the Pixel Remaster now that I think about it, but I could be wrong about that. Alright, do a little blinking. Who got hit by that? Oh, Firion. Okay, that's fine. Do a little protecting, and then do a little blizzard, and you just stand pat. We'll get you some weapon experience when we go to the cavern. I mean, Guy's gonna wreck a house in the snow cavern because, like, everything in there is weak to fire except for one thing, so... He's gonna run a train over everything, but we'll see if we can get a little bit of extra magic going, or not magic, but in Joseph's case, we'll get a little bit of extra bow attacks going his way, so... Dial that number for him. Sure, use protect again, why not? and then you attack again. Excuse me. Be fair, you'd learn how they get that money and just become an accomplice, or at least complicit in whatever they're doing because it benefits you. I mean, that's true, honestly. Like, I don't want to know because I'm going to rat them out. I just want to know because it would, I don't know, open the world up to me a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. All right, Maria's got 14 spirit. That's pretty good. She'll probably be at weapon level 8 by the time we're done in the snow cavern, to be fair. I might be able to get everybody else to weapon level 5 as well, if we find a battle that I think is effective at helping us with that. So, like, if it's just a bunch of enemies that kind of can't hit Maria, I can just cast Blink and then just go from there. All right, let's rest at the inn first, and then we'll go use our newfound plunder, our illegally found gambling funds, in order to fuel our ether addiction. I feel like Excelblum, like we're using illegal gambling on the arena in order to max out our cash to buy stat boosters in Fire Emblem 12 or something. Oh my lord. It's not like that game's already broken enough because Chris is a monster, but, you know, Chris is the avatar character in Fire Emblem 12, in case anybody's unfamiliar. So, and they are really, really strong. Do I buy other items as well as ethers? Because, I mean, we've got a bunch of money. I mean, I may as well buy, like, some high potions and stuff like that so we can start up our collection of it. So, they don't really cost a huge chunk. I mean, 1,500 is a bit, but we don't need more than 10 for a little while, so... I might want some eye drops, actually, so it's probably good to buy some for right now. Let's buy a few of those. Some antidotes as well. Because the enemies in here, if I remember right, can blind you, so it might be worth it for us to buy a few of those. Don't really need crosses, mallets, maiden's kisses, or gold needles for right now, though, because there aren't any enemies that can do that to us yet, so I'm not really worried about that part. Phoenix Downs might be nice, but not really something we really need to worry about. You could buy cottages at this point, but you can't use a cottage on the Snowcraft, so I wouldn't buy it for now. I would buy some once we get out of the snow cavern, because then once you're out of the snow cavern, you can rest in a cottage anywhere on the overworld as long as you're not on a ship, so, or a snowcraft, as the case might be. But yeah, ethers, please, several of them. How many floors are we going through here? I want to say 6, so we'll buy up to 12 ethers total, and I think that should be enough. I'll buy a couple more Phoenix Downs, and I think we're good. I'll spend the rest on high potions, just to get up to 15, and that should be enough for a while. I mean, honestly, I don't know if we'll use 15 high potions for the rest of the game, to be fair, so... But yeah, so ethers give you back a small amount of MP. They should restore pretty much everybody in the party to full MP from empty at this point in the game, because we just don't have quite enough MP to really need, like, multiple ethers in order to fix our MP. They usually restore about 30 MP at a pop, so you should be able to get back to full from that. So there you go. Let's see. I kind of want to conserve my MP on the way to the snow cavern, so I'm going to stick... Oh, actually, I should stick Joseph in the back row again. There we go. Because he doesn't need to be in the front row, but everybody else can come to the front row just so we can spam melee attacks on our way there. Although I have ethers now, so I don't really need to spam melee attacks, but I might as well, you know. Damn, potentially 74% evasion. Are you sure that isn't endgame? Your first FE12 run you made Chris and Knight, you didn't know how good that was going to be. Oh, General on Chris is real good. You do lots of damage and you take no damage in return, basically. You give him a pure water and off you go. Oh, man. Yeah, 74% evasion is pretty good, but I'd like to get it even higher, if possible. Like, I want Maria to be at as close to 99% evasion as possible by the end game, and that should be pretty feasible, honestly, for her. The main thing I want to start working on for her now is that left number, and the more agility that she gets, the better off that left number will be, so that should work out for us. Of course, Furion and Guy just got an HP increase as soon as I left town, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to grab some potions from the shop. I know I think I just sold one, but I'm going to grab some potions from the shop just so that way we can use them in order to, in case anybody takes a little bit of damage on the way, so I don't have to use a cure spell, you know, so. But with 12 ethers, we should be good to get through the next dungeon in order to, like, we'll have enough MP from that so that I can actually use MP on each floor, and basically once we get done with each floor, I can restore everybody to full MP, and then we can tackle the floor at full MP from there. Chris breaks the game into pieces. Like, you see why they tried to tone it back with Robin and even further with Corn Cob. Yeah, like, I think the problem with Chris is that Chris gets so much early game time to just, like, pad out levels. Like, you get, I think it's, what, 7 prologues with Chris before you start Chapter 1 of FE12. And that gives Chris so much time to just destroy everything that, like, you can get to really high levels with Chris, like, right at the beginning of the game. It's kind of ridiculous. So we should probably play FE12 for the stream at some point, but I don't know, I'm kind of iffy on it. I'd have to play Shadow Dragon before that, and I've tried playing Shadow Dragon before, and I don't particularly enjoy it. It's kind of boring, if I'm honest, because, well, it's not that it's boring, it's that it's either you play it on normal and it's boring, or you play it on hard and it's obscenely difficult. So, like, that's why I'm kind of iffy on it, because I don't want to play on hard, because I'm not that good of a strategy RPG player to play something that's obscenely difficult, but normal's kind of boring, so I don't know. I'll have to figure that part out. I mean, Exublim had a Berserker Chris by Chapter 4 or 5, and he had 18 defense. Yeah, and that's atrocious for a Berserker. Like, I usually go Warrior Chris myself, and still atrocious. Like, I mean, I don't bother with going into Knight to get the extra defense boost. I just stay in an Axe Fighter for the whole game, and then go up to Warrior, because that's good enough, you know? But, yeah, no, Chris is really good. Like, really, really good. Like, obscenely, to the point where it just destroys most of the game by themselves, so... But yeah, Axe units are kind of hard to come by in FE12, and that's why I usually go with Axe Chris, because then it's like, okay, now I don't have to worry about that, you know? So, yeah, it's just goblins. They're probably spawning here because we're, like, pretty close to the edge of the snowfields, so they usually don't spawn in the snowfields. Usually it's just the icicles and the snowmen, I think, which are the Sasquatch pellet swaps. But, yeah, I guess they can spawn here, too. It's all good. Yeah, AKA better than Berserkers should have. Yeah, really. Like, Berserkers usually don't have 18 defense, not even close. Usually they're, like, a little more than half of that. So... I see Sid's still busy with his airship, even though Poft got trashed a little bit ago. I think Maria's going to need a little bit more than a potion in order to get her there. I could always use a high potion on her, I suppose, so... Alright, we got some icicles. Do I want to... I might cast Blink, honestly. Yeah, I'm going to cast that on Furion, so that way he has... I see that Maria actually has more HP than he does now, so that's kind of nice. That means if she keeps going, she'll... I mean, he'll eventually catch up because her stamina is only at 11 and his is at 12, but that means she's a little bit ahead of him in that department, which is good. I could cast Fire, but let's just attack. Why not? Joseph might get some weapon experience out of it if we do this right. So. Maybe not. He kills that guy in one hit with his bow at the moment, so maybe he won't. I guess I can do this and see if he misses or something. Okay, never mind. Love Katarina, but your first FE12 run was on hard, and you saw how hard she falls off in the little time you have her. Yeah, you don't really get her for very long, and that's the... kind of the unfortunate part, because she's a pretty good unit at base, but it's tough to raise her by the time you get her, you know? So. Alright, there's the snow cavern right there, so... Alright, we're here. Let's use up the 4 potions that we have, and just see where everybody ends up. Everybody except Maria is full. That's good. I can probably leave her at 179. That should be fine, I think. And then put everybody else in the back row. We'll save here, just in case something goes deep south, and let's hit up the snow cavern. We can start it. We probably won't finish it today, but we can start it while we're here, you know? So, it's a bit of a long dungeon, but that's why I bought all this ether, so that way we can get through it without too much trouble. Okay, well, I already see the problem right away. Man! They're throwing the whole kit and caboodle at me here. Good lord. Alright, so Maria's already at level 8 axe level, so... I'm gonna teleport this goblin. So the grenade is an upgrade from the balloons, but it shouldn't be too hard to kill. I mean, honestly, this whole fight goes down when Guy uses fire. He can just use fire and it kills everything on the field, but let's let Joseph get some experience while we're here. And maybe let the goblin guards use their bows on Maria. Yeah, the welcoming committee with balloons. That's nice of them. They brought balloons for me to welcome me to the cave. Oh boy. Yeah, you know, you and Joseph can attack now. It's fine because Joseph will get. He's still at weapon level 3, so we won't kill all of them before he gets the experience for it. Ow! Man, like I said, sometimes those bow attacks hit for some spicy damage. 29 is nothing to scoff at. For a goblin, like, what kind of goblins are these? Goblins from Final Fantasy 13. See, I can say that now because we played that game, and those goblins, we already know they don't spawn till, what was that, chapter 11 or something like that? It's pretty silly. Most of the time, goblins are early game enemies, but not in that game. Okay, so he is actually at level 4, so it was a good thing we attacked again with him because we got some experience for it. Good. I honestly think the funniest part of you recruiting her went like so. Chris talks to her with no weapons. She uses Nosferatu, steals a bit of his soul. Heal Chris with Marisha and rescue drop her. Repeat until Katarina stops trying to murder Chris. Chris was a general, so speed kind of lacking. Yeah, speed on generals usually is not something that you get much of, unfortunately. I mean, you could get like a speed boosting... I don't even know what to call that. I guess a speed boosting nature for Chris in the beginning of the game, but yeah, it doesn't necessarily help all the time. Wow, 2 damage. That's great. You guys are really burning the midnight oil on that one, aren't you? Again, this is another fight where a guy can just destroy all of these snowmen with 1 fire 3 cast, but let's let everybody else do a little bit of something, shall we? Just so they have a chance to maybe get some spirit, get some strength, get some agility. Maybe not in Joseph's case. Joseph doesn't really need any stats, if I'm honest with you. He's pretty solid all the way through, right as he is now, so... You'll also get some pretty good gil from going through this place. The enemies drop a pretty decent chunk of it. And there's also some money from the chests as well, so that helps. It will pad out our pockets, even though we don't really need to do that, because our pockets are already pretty full from the Snowcraft minigame. Alright, we got deadheads. These guys are weak to fire and life, so actually I'm not gonna, there's only 2 of them, so I'm just gonna have Joseph do some damage and then see if Furion can cast life and get rid of this one. Yep, goodbye. But yeah, the enemies here will actually be able to pierce through our 10 defense, so Maria should be taking a little bit of damage in the process of doing this. And she got an agility boost out of it, so that's not terrible either. I'll take it. We also, I think, got a life level if I was looking at that correctly, so there we go. Nice, nice. Okay, more undead enemies, so more life spells. Joseph won't get any weapon experience. Let's just cast fire and blow these things up. Or Fire, as it were. Can't wait till I get Firaga! Firaga's at level 6, but you actually get another upgrade to the visual fidelity of the elemental spells at level 10, so we'll try to get them to level 10, but I don't really know if we will. It's kind of tough, honestly, unless you're really using 1. That's kind of a door that we just saw down there, but we can't really do anything with it at the moment, so I'm not super concerned about it. We'll come back to that later. Also, you've never seen teleport work as much as you've gotten it to hit. I mentioned this in the previous episode, but in this version of the game, the reason why teleport works so well is because they buffed its accuracy. In the original NES version and the PS1 version of the game, it only had a base accuracy of 0, so it was whatever your spirit stat was. So it really didn't work well until the end game. In the Dawn of Souls version and later of this game, it has a base accuracy of 55%, which is obscene. Way more than you'd ever need. So, yeah, that's why it's working so much. Because it has really, really high base accuracy. Its base accuracy is higher than buffs. Like, all buffs in the game. Because all the buffs in the game have a base accuracy of 50%. So, it works real good. It works real good. So, I'm going to save my fires, actually. Let's just use Blizzard. I know I'm in the Ice Cave, so Blizzard wouldn't really be that effective, but the goblins aren't resistant, so... And I think, if I remember correctly, Furion already has over 20 spirits, so, like, that also helps. It means I've got like a 75% chance of any of these 4 teleports hitting, and we only need one of them to hit. That's the thing about instant death spells in this game that are so good, is that you only need one of the levels of the spell to hit in order for it to work. So because I'm hitting them with it 4 times at like a 75% success rate, you could see how that would snowball very quickly. So I think we need to get back to 3 party members so the bow attacks actually hit Maria more often. Because they're aiming everywhere but her, so that's unfortunate, but it is what it is, you know. Alright, Joseph will get some weapon experience from this because we had him attack 4 times. Nice hit, Joseph. That's a crit. I'll take it. Get some HP naturally, some strength boosting. That's not bad either. And Maria should be up for her automatic HP increase pretty soon. That door is fake, if I remember correctly. So most of the doors in here, if I remember correctly, are not real. So, like, I wouldn't bother going into the vast majority of them. I think there might be one that's real. And I think I remember where it is, actually. So we'll just keep it in mind for a little bit later. I think these guys are resistant to matter elemental spells, I want to say. I could be wrong about that, though, so I guess we'll find out right now, because if teleport misses, I mean, I'm not high on spirit yet. But... Oh, and also another reason why teleport is hitting so often is because I'm single targeting it as well. Let's not discount single targeting, because if you multi-target a spell, it divides its accuracy by 4, so that also makes a difference in terms of whether or not the spell is effective, is whether you're single targeting it or multi-targeting it. So yeah, don't multi-target spells in this one unless you know that you don't really need to worry too much about its accuracy. So yeah, Deadhead, Zombie, and Shadow. So all of these guys are undead, so they are all resistant to matter elemental spells, but that's why we have life. So, whoops. I mean, I could do that, to be fair, but let's do this. We're going to need to give Firion a little bit of MP after this, though, so... If there's like 8 targets, that's worth a try. Yeah, that's true, because then it's like, okay, I'm spreading it out, but I have so many targets, then I might as well just spread it out, you know? So, because then you could hit more than 4, and it would be worth it. I mean, you think about this, later on in the game, we'll have a teleport spell that's probably closer to like level 8, and then, I mean, if I spread it out, I spread it out, you know, big deal. It'll do some good damage either way. It'll catch a few enemies unawares, and they'll just die, so... Yeah, see, there you go, I got 27 MP back for that 1 ether, so... Not bad. We got 5 more heals before the dungeon's over as well, so we can just keep liberally spamming our spells all the way through. Got an Antarctic Wind from that chest. It casts Blizzara as an item? Does it? Okay, it says the same effect as Blizzard. I don't really know. I don't usually use it, if I'm honest. I mean, we're in an ice cave, so, like... Yeah, that should be pretty obvious why I'm not going to use it, but... You know, it just doesn't really have much purpose here. So... But, you know, you might as well hang on to it. At the very least, it'll be worth a decent amount at a shop, so... Yeah, so sometimes it's you can make a decision on, okay, well, maybe I'll single-target this, or maybe I'll multi-target this. Like, in Cure's case, when I just need to top off like this, we can pretty much just top everybody off by just using Cure the way that I was just using it, even though it's multi-targeting. So, usually we can just do that, and it's fine, you know. I don't know if that sentence made sense. We can multi-target it and still get the maximum benefit out of it because I don't need the, you know, 300 or so HP that it heals on a single target right now. I only need the 40 or 50, so just multi-target it and off we go. Ah, Maria got an evasion increase. Perfect. So that's from all that tanking and dodging hits in the front row. She now has 2 chances to dodge attacks at an 83% chance each time. She also got her axe level at 8. I don't remember when that happened, but there you go. Joseph's at bow level 5. Firion's at 24 spirit. Maria's got 25 agility by herself. Holy crap. We are making it work. I'm going to use a high potion, actually, to top her off. There we go. Joseph's a little low as well, but... Yeah, she got an HP increase from that. Did she get stamina? No, she didn't get stamina. Okay. So she's still not getting stamina, which is unfortunate, but, like, it should be okay. She'll be able to get that stamina in a little while, and then she'll be as high on stamina as Firion, which should be just fine. Alright, this is an upgrade from the zombie, a ghoul. it's just as vulnerable to life as everybody else, so I'm just gonna kind of let Firion do that. I might cast Protect as well. We only need to cast Protect occasionally in here, like maybe against this enemy, because they don't ignore your defense with their physical attacks. They're one of the few undead enemies that does not. But, yeah, so we'll just do this, and we'll see if life works. Or Joseph's bow might work as well, so... He's too ghoul for zombie school, and that's why he doesn't... Actually, I think if I remember correctly, the zombies don't have any additional effects on their attacks. I was going to say, and that's why he doesn't have an additional effect on his attacks, but I think it's the zombies that don't have an additional effect, and ghouls can paralyze you. So, paralyze is a little bit nasty, but it's nothing we can't handle at this point. It's fine. We'll make it work. So, more fire spam. I mean, again, I could just multi-target it and be done with the fight, but let's let everybody do something, you know? This is a game of participation. You want everybody to do something so everybody has a chance to gain stats. If you're just letting one person do all the work, you're going to sandbag yourself. So, and I mean, it's not like we don't have the ethers at this point to keep ourselves healthy. So, good, an agility boost. That's nice. Love to see those. There's a battle axe. Nothing we can really use effectively right now. We have a mithril axe, so... Keep an eye on that, not keep an eye on, but hold on to that mithril axe for a little while, though, because we actually won't get an axe upgrade for quite some time after this. Matter of fact, it takes so long to get an axe upgrade after this that I might use an opportunity to do a little sequence breaking, if you know what I mean. It's not really sequence breaking, to be fair, but, like, it'll feel like it, so... That's not for a while, though, so don't worry about that for now. You could remember it for later if you want, but for now, it's fine. How much spirit did I say Firion had at this point? I think he's at 24. So he has a 74% chance to hit each life spell that he casts, and he's casting 2 of them at a time. So that's pretty good, all things considered. So you guys can just stand pat, it's fine. Let Firion and Maria handle the rest of this. Let Firion get the experience on his white magic spells while he can. Okay, that's fine. We'll just let Joseph shoot this guy. There we go. We have some good gil out of this as well. There's an antidote. I mean, I guess that could come in handy if you get poisoned in here. Are you at 25 spirit now, Firion? Let's see. Yeah. So he has a 75% chance to hit. It was 74 before with each life spell that he uses on those guys. That's pretty great. It will definitely help out for him. I might want to get him and Guy up on their weapon levels, though, so they can get to level 6 while we're here. Excuse me. So if we get into a fight where I'm like, okay, Maria can handle this by herself, her and Joseph, I might do that. We'll see. This is one of those where they can handle it by themselves, but there's not enough enemies for me to really, for it to really be warranted. So I think I'll just do this. I'll let you cast. Well, no, I should cast Thunder because these guys are also weak to Thunder, and I won't get much of a chance to use that otherwise. So. 462, not even bad, Guy. Not even bad. And an intelligence and a magic boost. Perfect. Those will help. Here's a mithril mace, so if Minwu was still around, I guess we could give that to him. But it's also a monster in a box. Let's see what they've got for me. 6 grenades. Oh, fun. How about we get a blink on Maria? That will probably be pretty useful. I'll probably just have Joseph do some swinging at him because he might be able to get some weapon experience out of this. So these guys don't run away, so I can take care of a couple of them with Guy and Maria and still be fine. So get a blink going. There we go. Get some fire. Probably should have used thunder if I'm honest, but that's fine. Alright, so you should be able to get all 4 of your hits off on these guys, because I was going to say, it looked like you could kill all of them with each single hit, but not if you're inaccurate about it, so. Alright, that's fine. We'll just do this, and then once we're sure, we can, oh no, you're at level 5, so it's actually good that I did it this way, because this will still get you weapon experience, so. especially if we just do that. I probably could have had Firion and Guy attacking to get their weapon experience while I was thinking about it, but that's okay. Some money, some agility, some strength. It's all good. Alright, so now that we got that monster in a box out of the way, let's retreat back to the stairs that we came up to this floor on, and then we need to go to the stairs that take us down after that. But I think once we get to back to where we were, we'll call it a day. So, just work our way back, you know. Keep dodging those attacks, Maria. It'll keep getting your agility boosted, so I will take that. I'm going to teleport away these goblins. We'll get rid of you. I'll cast Blizzard on the other goblin guard. I don't really care if the regular goblins run away. That's fine. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. And then, can Joseph get weapon experience out of these guys? If the goblins don't run away, yeah. So, oh, you know what? Let me do it this way. So because Firion and Guy are in the back row, but they have melee weapons, they won't actually be able to hit these guys. So they'll basically just flail their arms at them and get nowhere, which is fine, because that means they can level up their weapon skills without ever killing anything. So I don't know if they'll get it from this fight, but they might. Well, it depends. If the goblins, this one sticks around, this one up here, they should, because then I can have Joseph kill that goblin this turn. And then he can work on the grenade while they attack, because this is their third attack, so as long as they attack one more time, it should be fine. And this grenade doesn't run away, so I can just do this, defend this turn, let them flail their arms around. And now they gained weapon experience, so that should be fine. Joseph finished this guy off. And then we can move along with our lives. Not bad. I'll probably Ether after this as well, just because. Got some magic out of that. Joseph got an HP boost. Nice, nice. You'll get up to 45 MP once you get an MP boost after this, so that's not bad. You'll get up to 47. So we'll work our way up there as we go. Cure's almost level 4. I'll keep that in mind as well. 2 more Ethers. Yes, please. There we go. And Maria shouldn't need an Ether. We won't cast Protect enough for her to need it over the course of the whole dungeon. Like, we might be out of MP with her by the time we're done with the dungeon, but we're not going to cast Protect enough to where she'll need an Ether. So we can just hold on to those for Firion and Guy instead. So, yeah, I guess just teleport away. Well, you know, maybe I just don't even bother using any MP here, because, like, we can take care of these guys with just Firion and, or not Firion, Maria and Joseph. So. There we go. There's the automatic HP increases. Not bad. I'll take it. Okay. And instead of hiding in this frigid water for the rest of eternity while I wait for all of this to happen, because it's going to be, well, it's only going to be 24 hours before the next stream, but let's not get frostbite here in the snow cavern, because we're going to need the heat in our bodies so we can make our way through to collect up the goddess's bell to open the doors to the Sunfire on the next episode of Final Fantasy II, the Stream Edition, which will be happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And we figured it out in terms of Cole's schedule for the co-op first co-op stream for Portal 2. If everything goes according to plan, it should be next Tuesday. So, like, we'll play this tomorrow, we'll play Portal 2's co-op on Tuesday, and then I'll see what he's doing for the rest of next week, and then maybe we'll play this again further along in the week, or we'll play Portal 2 again later on in the week. I don't know. I'll have to see what his schedule looks like before I set up the schedule for next week. But, yeah, so I'll figure that part out, and I'll post the schedule up on Twitch, YouTube, and Discord shortly after the description for this one goes live in just a little bit once I'm done ending the stream. But in the meantime, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream, and I will see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will most likely be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where we'll finish up the Snow Cavern. Until then, everybody take care, and have a good one. So, Guy, I know we made a pact not to hurt each other with our spells, because that's too easy and turns the game into easy mode, but can you just, like, cast fire on all of us periodically for the next few hours so that way we stay alive in the Snow Cavern? we've got the ethers to spare, so I think we can afford it, buddy. All right, thanks.